Spirits with Spirits.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another episode of Spirits of Spirits. This is season 3, episode 14, The Haunts of Australia. I am your host, John Watkins, and of course, your host with the most, Mr. David Lowe. Hello.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, bud?
What's going on?
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
Ooh.
Too bad, man.
Wow, better out than in.
Ooh, Sakya.
I fart and waste it when you can burp and taste it.
That's right. That is right. I'm a firm believer. We're trying this new Iron Maiden beer, and I am not disappointed, Dave. I've had 2 tall boys.
Is this yours?
Getting ready to start my third. Yeah, this is
This
mine.
is
And I am not disappointed in either one of these. I have a nice premium British beer in the black, and then I got the sake lager called Sun and Steel. It's
I'm very interested in that.
the Trooper. I don't know if you can see the logo. It's the Trooper, but dressed up like a samurai. It's super yummy. I think you'd really dig on this one. But yeah, I am not disappointed. Can't say I have a new favorite beer, but it's pretty damn good. I can drink this.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking.
And you are. You're drinking
a lot of it. So before we really get into this, Dave, let's go ahead and hit the fine print. So we want to thank Spotify for podcasters. They will allow us to put our voice out there to everybody. They take the audio portion of us live broadcast here and put it out to your places like Spotify, of course, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course, Amazon Music. Without them, you wouldn't be able to hear our lovely voices coming through on your favorite podcast sites. So thank you, Spotify, for podcasters for that. Of course, I want to thank StreamYard. StreamYard is why we're able to do our multicasting. That's how we get out there to our places like Facebook with our Spirits to Spirits page, or YouTube, Spirits to Spirits with John and Dave, or just at Spirits to Spirits, or even our Twitter, Spirits to Spirit. It's Spirits with SPR, Spirits to Spirit.
Right.
So thank you for StreamYard for making that available to us. And of course, one thing, Scare Network, love being part of their family. Do exclusives with them every week. Go ahead, if you guys have not subscribed already, go check them out. It's only $4.99 a month, or save yourself $20 a year and only pay $40 for the whole year annually, which is a $20 savings. You can't beat that. They have tons of content on there. Not only do you get to see our lovely faces on some exclusives for them, but you get to see lots of true crime, more paranormal investigations, some good shorts that they have with cryptids and stuff like that. They have awesome B movies. I call them B movies. They call them the 80s B reel. They also have great classic title movies on there, like the original Night of the Living Dead. They even have independent films on there, which are freaking amazing. I'm starting to really dig on some of these independent films that they put on there. So check them out again. Thank you, scarenetwork.tv, for that. Whew, that's the fine print, Dave.
Good job, bro.
In other news, we got 3 locations that we're going to talk about tonight on our live here.
Yeah.
And they, I think, I think these are going to be 3 great locations. I think score wise, these are going to be some really good locations. I think there's one on here that might
Right.
touch the top 5. I think it might hit that. Oh God, we got to go there level.
Yeah. No, it was the research on this was really good because unlike Russia, which was there was no information. We couldn't get, I couldn't tell my asshole from my elbow. But Australia, there was a bunch, and I was like, man. So I went on a bunch of different sites and picked I picked 13 locations that were overlapping, like they were on everybody's list
Oh yeah.
of top 10 haunted locations in Australia.
Yeah.
Then, went and did all the research to it and, broke it down to 4, but I think we could do even a second part to Australia, bro, because there's
Australia
still
might
a
be
few
second
more.
part. Yeah, the Australia might be second part where there's a whole town in Australia that we're not even gonna be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
So this place is, and I love the one we did for Scare Network Television. I honestly thought that place might have scored higher. I was a little.
I thought it was going to go higher too, but I think you were lowballing it, bro. You weren't feeling it too much.
I think I'm trying to reserve myself a little bit more. I do notice that I like to throw some high scores out there. I'm trying to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more less just
a little bit more stingy with your points.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see that a little bit from me, a little bit more, is not be so hey Rich, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate
Come on,
you,
man.
but yeah,
bro. So yeah, we've got Rich and I are going to do an episode of Comic Talk next Thursday.
Ooh.
You
guys, the Comic Talk finally.
Yeah, we're talking comic books. So basically what we do is we pick a storyline.
Leave me alone.
Doesn't matter what publishing company it is or whatever. We pick a storyline, we both read it, and then we score it. I developed a lowdown formula for comic books. And this coming Thursday, we're going to do Batman Court of Owls Volume 1.
That's going to be interesting.
So, and that's fun. And we've got a couple of guests that are going to join us. Alex from Geeks and Flicks and Harrison from Really Old Movies are going to join us. And I'm the only one who hasn't read that previously. So I'm reading it now. And then we're going to score it live on the show. And I'm going to have to be
on that will be live on the YouTube, right?
That'll be on the YouTube. Yes, sir. So
check that out Thursday night. What time Thursday night is that, Dave?
That'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific or 7 p.m. your time, bro. 9 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be on Turner Fan 77's channel at Turner Fan 77. So you guys check it out.
I get his YouTube subscription on the Spirits of Spirits page there. So
Neil.
I watch more stuff from people I subscribe from there than anywhere other area that I have YouTube. So I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to give the old Rich Turner fan some love on the YouTube.
Yep. And you are very welcome for the plug, my brother. So but yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Rich, you gotta come on to some of these pre-games, bro. You gotta come on some of these pre-games.
Yeah. Instagram, you gotta join us on a pregame and talk about locations. But yeah, we need to get him in.
A lot of bullshit sessions on there.
He's a huge Bigfoot guy, so I want to try to get him in on some Bigfoot action when we're
Are we gonna invite Rich to do the look back on that?
I'm thinking about it. I know it's
Thinking
a
about
look back to what we've already discussed and stuff, but yeah, we might bring him in for that look back to the Bigfoot.
It's bright.
Why do you keep
I
saying?
mean,
I mean, I
center.
agree,
Mine said
but
center.
yeah. So the
Next
next one,
uh pregame should be this Wednesday,
yeah,
and we're gonna pregame Hawaii, right? Yes.
yeah, haunted location in Hawaii.
Haunted locations on Hawaii, but even if you're not joining in on the chat for the haunted locations of Hawaii, Rich, you can always join in the chat on the huge bullshit sessions that we get into. Because that's pretty much what the pregame is. We talk about these places that we want to do for our next show, and then we bullshit for about another hour or so afterwards
Yeah, yeah.
about
No,
movies.
we were on 2 hours last night, just
Yeah.
bullshit about movies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that that's right up our alley. But yeah, now Rich is 2 hours ahead of us, so he's an hour ahead of you. We usually do this about 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah,
So
it's usually
it'll be after midnight for you, brother. So you might not be able to make the pre games unless we do it earlier sometime. But we've got the 4K lowdown on Wednesday nights where we do by the numbers. And that's where we review newer releases that are recently out to the theater or streaming or physical. And so we
I
do
gotta
that
start
every one's night.
taking a look at those while I'm just sitting around doing nothing. I gotta start jumping on, taking a look at those, and I can't necessarily join face to face, but I can at least join the chat and kind of pick up what you guys are putting down. Of course, ask questions. I think there's two things definitely me and Dave can sit there and bullshit about. I mean, me and Dave could probably bullshit about just about anything with each other, but
About
there's
anything.
that'll carry us for freaking hours on bullshitting. That's the paranormal, and that's freaking movies. So, and don't get us started on paranormal movies.
Yeah. And that was like, oh man, that could be a totally different rabbit hole. But yeah, we were on Instagram Live last night. It was kind of for the
Late
moment
pregame,
thing.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah,
from
we were talking on
Johnny.
Facebook, and mine just said Johnny again. That's the third time.
wow.
But
Good.
yeah, I guess it is good. At least it's not saying my name. Your spirit box said my name earlier.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So
Yeah, we jumped on last night.
last night, we were talking on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, you want to just jump on right now and do talk cryptids? So we did that. We talked some cryptids, and then we went right into started talking about movies, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 1:00, Dave. I gotta go to bed.
I gotta go to bed, and I'm like, yeah, I got stuff to do. So yeah, I had to so I did
Yeah.
my unboxing after that and stuff like that.
I think you guys were
You
still
guys
on.
were still on when I was getting ready for work. Yeah, because he gets up before 2 a.m.
Oh, damn. Oh, you got that
He gets
earlier.
ready for work. So yeah, we were still on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it was
We were
midnight.
on.
It was midnight up my time.
We
We were
finished
just
at
about
1. That
done.
was 3:00 your time. We finished your time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1:45 a.m. for me. Right now?
No,
Oh,
that's when he gets up.
oh, Jesus. Oof. That's a hard schedule. You must either have a long drive or you work a weird
Who is
schedule.
she?
Yeah, he does he works long hours. Yeah, when he gets up. Yeah, he gets up at 1:45 a.m. And yeah, and then I get him to go on like really late at night, and he's yawning away, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. He does 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, that's kind of
It's
what I
right.
do. I'm usually in there at 10 in the morning and get off at 10 at night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that one all too well, Rich. I know it all too well. Even broke, I'm still doing 12-hour shifts. Like, God damn. I don't get that exception. Well, Dave, we got 3 good locations here.
Yeah, we do.
We got the Port Arthur, we got the Freemantle Prison, and we got the Aradale Mental Hospital. And for some reason on my notes, I wrote Aradale Mental Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Iron Maiden.
Nah.
Drinking the sake. But yeah, no, it's you guys have a
All
great show.
right,
Gotta go to
appreciate
bed.
you stopping
Yeah, he's
by,
gotta get
bud.
up at 1:45 in the morning. All right, brother. Thank you so much for being on.
Appreciate you. Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock his time, man. If he's getting up at basically 4 hours from now, Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's a hard shift, like working 2 to 2 basically, or 4 to 4, or I don't know what he works, but holy crap. That's a hard shift to work being up that early. But I'm trying to figure out, where do we start? Where do we start? Do we start in port and move our way inland, Dave? Because the way I wrote it down, it kind of moves further inland on
Yeah.
here. Because I have it written down as Port Arthur, Fremantle, and Aradale. It
Yeah.
kind of keeps moving further inland. Do we start with like the prison, put the port in the middle, end with the hospital, or start with the hospital? That's hard.
It's hard. They're all good locations, but let's start with the port because there was something my ghost tube said we were getting started. It said the word children, and I wanted to talk about Port Arthur.
Okay.
Um, that's what that reminded me of because Port Arthur was basically a prison.
Yeah, it basically was a prison.
Yeah, and what they did, the British actually shoved their criminals over here to
Damn
Australia,
it.
put them in this prison, but not the ones that were arrested for murder and stuff. No, they sent those guys to America.
Yep.
They they took the petty criminals, the thieves, the shoplifters, those kind of the petty crimes. They put them here, and not just adults. They imprisoned children here
Yes, they
for
imprisoned.
for their lives. People basically moved here and lived here until they died.
Yeah, this was not a place that you escaped from.
No, you didn't. You never left this place. This is like the Chateau d'If in the Count of Monte Cristo,
Yeah.
where they put you here to forget about you.
Yes. Yeah. I love that you bring in the Count of Monte Cristo. I love that fucking movie.
That's yeah, I mean, got the poster behind me. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies of all time.
And you got one of my other favorite movies of all time with fucking uh uh 13th Warrior. So
Yeah. Got that one, and then I've got Stardust over there.
Oh, Stardust. I love that movie. I
Yeah.
really do love that movie. Uh Such a good movie. I think that movie was really underrated, honestly. Uh
Oh man, I absolutely love.
the casting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's one of those that I think is better. I think the movie is better than the book,
Yes. Yeah.
and that's
Yes.
rare. That's
Very rare
literally.
that happens. But I think they did a great job in depicting what the author was trying to say. So I think that has a lot to do with they were able to actually bring to life the book, and I think that's kind of why you get that feel that
Another
the movie was
room.
better than the book. Another room.
Mhm.
Interesting. So Port Arthur. So it actually served as a prison from 1830 to actually 1877. And more than 12,500 convicts were actually held in that prison in
Yeah.
1830.
Yeah.
It actually started off as just a small timber station.
Mhm.
Between 1833 and 1850, the actual area was expanded. And in the end, the complex consisted of 60 buildings,
60
all
building.
built by convicts.
Yep.
So it was self-sufficient, had beautiful gardens, Also
built by convicts.
also built by it was also built by the
Yeah.
convicts.
But yeah, they got into building ships.
Yeah.
They did coal mining.
Yeah.
They just, they just kept raking in the money.
Yeah. It was literally it was hell for a lot of these convicts, but some of the
Yeah.
convicts, it was actually a way of learning a new job skill.
Yeah.
And I mean, skills that they were actually able to utilize when they actually got
I don't
released,
know.
if they actually got released.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women were actually sent to the island.
Yep. One in five.
5 convicts was actually a woman.
Yep.
Children were actually often went along with their parents. And with only a few actually.
Or I found they were there by themselves. They were arrested. Like if a kid was stealing bread or something like that, the kid would be put to the island.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
But most
8 or 9 years
of
old.
the convicts who were there, who were actually sent to Port Arthur, were actually people who have actually committed crimes before. So they're like second striker, third striker type people.
Right.
Like, fuck it, let's get them out of fucking Britain, and we're just gonna send them to Australia.
Yep.
Uh-oh, what you got? Yes.
Nice.
My love asking me if I wanted
Me.
tomatoes on my tostada. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Conditions in labor were actually harsh on the area.
Yeah.
Me.
Johnny. Again, that's interesting. I'm
That's
wondering
like 4 times.
that we're sitting here where it was named Johnny, but following the crimes that were committed were so petty as to being just as little as stealing bread.
Yep.
Would actually put you on the transport to this island. Mainly, of course, poor people ended up on the island.
Yep.
The worst places where a convict could actually end up were actually in the underground cells of the coal mine, or what they call the punishment cells, where convicts would spend all day in complete silence and darkness. I mean, that's
the worst solitary confinement you can think of.
It's literally cruel and unusual punishment now.
Yeah.
But there were also incidents among the convicts as well. Young man named William Riley actually shocked the guards when he suddenly killed Joseph Shuttleworth while working in the church. Like, just fucking killed this dude in the church. Shuttleworth was actually a frequent offender. Excuse me, an unpopular convict. Riley took his pickaxe and gave 3 blows on Shuttleworth's head with it. You're gonna die. After the murder, he said he was satisfied now. I'm satisfied now. We don't have to deal with this idiot no more.
Yeah. I want it.
And to this day, they're still unclear of what the motive was behind Riley putting his pickaxe into Shuttleworth's head.
Mm-hmm.
But Shuttleworth did have a reputation of annoying other convicts.
Yeah.
The church still stands today. The church is,
but it's unconsecrated.
Yeah, and was built to reform Port Arthur's convicts through a regime of religious instruction and worship.
Yeah, and we've got to watch out for that, bro, because having the church unconsecrated, that means demonic entities can be there, and that's the first thing they'll try to do.
Oh yeah, it's a breeding ground.
So this kind of, this hints to me that there could be non-human activity here.
That's kind of what I was thinking too after reading everything and looking at everything here.
Yeah.
They do also style of the dead. Okay, go ahead, Dave. I'll let you talk for a minute. I've been talking for a while. I need some beer.
That's okay. You get a beer, and I want to tell you about the Port Arthur massacre that occurred on April 28th, 1996.
Ooh.
The guy who did it, named Marlon Bryant, killed 35 people and wounded 23 others. One dude. It's the worst massacre in modern Australia history and led to the fundamental charges in Australia's gun laws.
How many guns did he have? You said what year, Dave?
1996.
Oh, this was in 96. This is like the year before this place closes down.
Yes.
This might be the reason the place did close down.
I wouldn't be surprised. Bryant pled guilty to the killings and received 35 life sentences without parole. They still do not know the motive why he did it.
A life sentence is considered 50 years.
Yes.
Again.
So 5 times 5 is 25, 15, 700. So that's what, 17,500 years, Dave.
Mm-hmm. So basically we had during this shooting spree, Johnny,
Jesus.
Let's see. So 2 of Bryant's victims were known to him personally and were killed at Seascape, the bed and breakfast property. The majority of his victims were killed in a shooting spree at the Port Arthur Historic Site.
Wow.
Using 2 semi-automatic rifles, he began his attack at a small cafe before moving to a nearby gift shop, killing 20 people indiscriminately in a short amount of time. Many others were killed at the site's car park, including several children. After killing its 4 occupants, Bryant stole a vehicle at the site's toll booth and drove to a nearby service station where he killed a woman and abducted her partner. He continued to fire at passing vehicles before finally returning to Seascape with his hostage, who was then killed, Johnny. He set fire to the property, but was captured the following morning.
Wow. So he shot his way out of there.
Yeah.
And after shooting his way out of there, he takes a hostage, shoots at a bunch of people on the road.
Yeah.
Drives back to the prison.
Drives back to there, kills the guy, the hostage, and then sets fire to the building. And then gets captured.
That's amazing. I mean, he could have been gone. I mean, he went back just so he could kill someone again. And he's like, fuck that place. We're going back. What? You know how mad you have to be? What did they do? What set this guy off? That's what I want to know. What set him off to do that?
I don't know, man. That was crazy. But yeah, it was like, a year after that, or less than a year after that, they closed the prison down.
Yeah, I think it was like 1997 was the official close year. That's wow. Wow.
So but yeah, you were talking about the punishment cells and that kind of stuff. From 1833 to 1877, Port Arthur, as we talked about, became a prison for secondary offenders. While physical punishments were handed out, it was the psychological punishments that made Port Arthur unique. Most notably, those in need of extra punishment were hooded and made to stay silent in light sealed tiny cells, which I think were the punishment cells, sometimes for months at a time.
Jesus. Hooded even. Like hooded. You get nothing.
You get nothing. Hooded and sealed off, and then you're meant to stay there. The administrators thought that this would give the prisoner time to reflect. Instead, it induced mental illness. through lack of sight and sound.
Damn.
Change.
Okay.
Damn. That's jacked up. That'll if you weren't insane before, that could literally drive you insane.
That could drive you completely bonkers.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So it started in 1830 as a timber station, and then became more of a prison by 1833. I'm trying to find when it actually shut down.
I think I read it was 1997.
Yeah, I can't go much further past but yeah, it wasn't long after that massacre.
Let me see if I have it here.
But in 1987, the site has been managed since 1987, the site has been managed by the Port Arthur Historic Site Management Authority, with conservation works funded by the Tasmanian government and the admission fees paid by visitors. Volunteer groups have been working at the building sites of Point Pure to help researchers gain a better understanding
Johnny.
of the history of the prison.
So maybe it was in the 80s it closed down, and this guy wasn't even a
Became a
prisoner?
tourist. Yeah. So before Port Arthur was abandoned as a prison in 1877, some people saw the potential tourist attraction. David Byrne, who visited the prison in 1842, was awed by the peninsula's beauty and believed that many would come to visit it. This opinion was not shared by all. Anthony Trollope in 1872 declared that no man desired to see the strange ruins of Port Arthur. So the prison closed in 1877.
It closed in 1877.
Yeah. And
So
much of the property was put up for auction. But wasn't sold until 1889.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, the decay. There's a whole bunch of decay. They saw it as something positive as the Tasmanian population wished to distance themselves from the dark image of Port Arthur.
Oh,
Those who bought Port Arthur property began tearing down the buildings. The destruction was furthered by the fires of 1895 and 1897, which destroyed the old prison house, and earth tremors.
you should see who just popped on, Dave.
No way.
Ghost. We've only been getting yelled at for Kevin not being here for 2 months,
I know, right?
almost every episode, asking where Kevin's at.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Son of a bitch. What the hell, Dave? Why does it keep-
That's like 7 times. So, yeah, in 1927, tourism had grown to the point where the area's name was reverted to Port Arthur. In 1916, the Scenery Preservation Board was established to take the management of Port Arthur out of the hands of the locals. By the 1970s, the National Parks and Wildlife Service began managing the site. And then in 1979, funding was received to preserve the site as a tourist location.
So I know we've talked a lot about Port Arthur, but we haven't brought up the Isle of the Dead yet.
Right. That is next, brother. Let's go.
So the Isle of the Dead is actually a small uninhabited island just off the coast of Port Arthur. This is the place where basically dead convicts and civilians were buried after they died, mostly in unmarked graves. More than 1,000 people died at Port Arthur during the years of operation. Remember, this only operated from 1830 to 1877. So more than 1,000 people died in 47 years. A man named Mark Jeffrey, though, was sent to the island to serve as a gravedigger.
Yep.
Jeff actually was a convict with sudden bursts of rage, and he continuously stood up for his rights. This earned him constant punishment. And at some point, the guards had enough of his rage and they sent him off to the Isle of the Dead. There he had a terrifying encounter with the devil himself.
Yeah.
We're talking about the unconsecrated ground and things like that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey actually claimed he came to his cottage one night and spoke to him. Jeffrey was terrified and begged if he can come back to Port Arthur to serve out the rest of his time.
To which they said no.
Hey, from Manchester, England. What's up, Virgil Kane? I love it when I get people from outside.
What's up, Virgil? Thank you so much for joining us.
From across the pond. I appreciate you being on here. In fact, I'm even drinking English beer right now. Well, I don't know if it's English, but it's made from Iron Maiden. So we got that.
Yeah. I am drinking Chinese beer, but sorry. Because I've got the Tsingtao going.
Oh, you got the Tsingtao. Well, I am drinking a sake lager made by Iron Maiden. I'm also drinking what they call a premium British beer made by Iron Maiden. Kind of back and forth on them. Mm-hmm. You guys are amazing. Well, Virgil, I appreciate that. Dave, quit putting down when I picked up. I appreciate that, Virgil. Appreciate you. Love it. Love that you're on here.
Yep.
If you have questions or want to put your 2 cents into what we're talking about, just hit them up. We're more than happy to answer questions that you got, and we love the chit chat. We love the commentary.
Yep.
But imagine being on an island that's basically designed for the dead.
Yep.
Much like the isle in Italy.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of.
And I don't know if it was the devil himself, but imagine the devil. You guys are definitely something. Thanks, Kevin. Imagine believing the devil himself comes into your room. It doesn't say what is Jeffrey doesn't go on to claim what he says.
Just that he showed up to his cottage and spoke to him. But he didn't know what the topic was. I can't even get arrested. This conversation down, and not even a sniff. More chance of getting hit by lightning whilst being attacked by a great white shark and then getting a leg over around here.
That's awesome, Virgil. Well, the good news is you don't have to go to Australia and be put in Port Arthur and send out to the Isle of the Dead. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad, Virgil. I've never complained about not getting arrested.
Nope. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Usually it's like, holy shit, dude, I could be in jail for life right now.
I could have been arrested for that. I'm sure that's illegal in some states.
I'm sure that's illegal in most of them. It's true. Yeah. But I mean, and then begging to come back, and they're like, no.
And this dude was a huge rage monster. Jeez, another one. It's true. So 7 times in the last 30 minutes.
Ow.
It said your name.
I don't know why it's going off on me like that.
I don't know. Anyway,
let's get to the guts of this place, Dave. Let's get to the paranormal.
Let's dig. Yeah, let's get the skeletons out of the closet. Let's figure out what kind of, there've been sightings of ghosts and unexplained stuff in Port Arthur since 1870.
Yeah, which is 7 years before it's even closed down.
Right. is often referred as being one of the most haunted places in Australia, with strange light anomalies, poltergeist activity, and hearing disembodied footsteps, just to name a few things. Some
People have
claim to suddenly feel overcome with sadness and dread, but people have also been touched and have been seen apparitions.
Ugh. Evidently, your ghost too thinks I'm cute.
Maybe so. I don't know.
I got robbed by a brass in a sleazy hotel room in Manchester. She had it away with my wallet. Boy, could she run for an old bird. All right, I'm already liking Virgil. I can go hunting with you in Australia.
You'd go ghost hunting anywhere with us, bro. I know you would.
Anywhere but
like,
Auschwitz,
hey.
he said.
Huh?
He said anywhere but Auschwitz.
Anywhere but Auschwitz. Yeah, he won't go to Auschwitz.
That's
But yeah, so there's a ghost of a little girl that's been seen running between rooms.
Yeah, it's the children actually have lived in the complex and died there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it be children of employees or
prisoners themselves. There's some that have been
convicts
prisoners.
or
Yeah.
children of convicts, because it's say they brought
they'll send whole families. Yeah. They hear children's laughter. Another small girl has been seen with her pale face pressed against one of the windows of the medical officer's residence.
Right.
Ooh.
And I think I have a picture of that.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up there.
We got a picture of that.
That's an interesting picture too. I'm just gonna maximize that here. I mean, you can definitely see facial features in the picture.
Yeah, I see a nose, like the side of her face is like against the.
And it almost looks like there are hands on both sides. Like she's kind of
she's kind of like,
you can't really see us doing.
Can't see us because we put the picture up. Yeah, she's like this. You can tell, right? Wait.
Well, it doesn't look like she's gotta do this, but I'm here, Dad.
Yeah, like that. Children are the only spirits that bother me. California Street in Stockton. Yeah, well, we were talking about going to that mental hospital there on California Street.
Yep. She was fat, frankly, but strangely attractive. Keep them coming, Virgil.
Yes. Nice. So
disgusting.
So disgusting.
Fast, Dave. She
can
run. He said.
She can run.
Like an
lady, what are you sick? No, but the guy before you was. So the ghost of an older woman in a rocking chair has been seen many times as well. A soldier in a red uniform has been seen in the Tower Cottage, and a disembodied head hovers in the dissection room.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Just a disembodied head floating around. All you needed was a guy, a headless horseman, riding a horse trying to find it.
Yeah, Virgil, I think you described all of us as fat, wrinkly, but strangely
attractive. Oh my God. Then there's the lady in the gray blue.
Right. The blue gray lady.
What'd you say?
The blue gray lady.
I said the gray blue lady.
I know.
Not to be confused.
Maybe I have a different lady.
But she's been seen numerous occasions as well. She's wearing a long pale dress from the waist to the ground. She's wearing a bonnet. It is believed that she was married to one of the Port Arthur staff members and that she lived in the I know I'm gonna say that word wrong.
It's penal. Not to be confused with penile. It's penal.
Penal settlement. The lady in gray blue.
She was settling on some peniles.
Believed to have died during childbirth. She's been seen wandering the gardens and looking out from a door from one of the buildings.
Right.
Of course, she's gray. She's dead. Erica says gray blue. Not to be confused with the blue gray.
Not to be confused with my blue gray chick, who fortunately did the same exact things as John's gray blue chick. So I don't think we need to talk about it twice. It's not a laughing matter. The birds in this godforsaken town seem to have their knickers glued on. I'm just gonna say nail polish remover works great for getting rid of glue.
So there's a pint of Guinness, Dave.
Not that I've done that for knickers, but
oh my god.
So I got a
wow.
This is on the grounds.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Let me blow this up here.
Blow it up.
Jazz hands.
How much beer have we had? It can't be that much, right?
I'm on 4. I'm not even fussy.
Looks like Casper. Yeah, it does kind of look like
Virgil. It looks like a fat, wrinkly woman. Strangely,
like a fat, wrinkly lady, but strangely, not the one on the left, the actual ghost. There's an orb that was seen on the grounds.
I was looking at this picture earlier. Is it me or is there a design?
It looks like a target.
Or is it transparent?
It looks like a target to me.
Would you say a target? Is that transparency because the branches in the background? But
no, it's transparent. You could see through it.
But it does. It's kind of weird that
it doesn't look like it's an orb, but like a symbol, like a.
This is what I like. What Sean Austin says was spirit energy and not just. But look at the size of that.
Yeah.
Like if you don't look at the blow up picture and you look at the regular size picture, look how big that orb is. That's a huge orb.
Our pleasure, Virgil.
Yeah, no, thank you, Virgil.
I've done about 300 crunches since you've been on, and I appreciate that.
So there are disembodied laughter of children and mysterious women in blue, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The children laughter always gets me. Because you know how I feel.
They talk about that as because it could be, it could be a child, but it could also be something non-human posing as a child.
Oh, you don't worry about getting banned here, Virgil.
No.
We're not politically.
We are definitely not politically correct. We do not know.
Yeah, we got the above 18 rating on our show, so you're okay, man.
So,
Foley Bill was here.
If we had Bill from Dover Paratech, man, it would be a whole different show.
Oh my lord!
So they do a paranormal investigation tour here at Port Arthur.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few stories and things going off those paranormal investigation. Yeah, Kevin. If Kevin's not banned, you're good, Virgil.
Yeah, if Kevin's in, you're in, bro. I mean, he hasn't been on in a while, but
yeah.
But like they've had EMF spikes, they've had EVPs. They also, one of the guides uses
Disgusting.
dowsing rods and has gotten
I'm wondering
captured.
when you're going to start use yours.
I would love to start using mine. Kevin!
Light Tasmania visited the site in 2003. The Port Arthur Ghost Tour Guide showed them through thousands of written reports by people who had experienced something paranormal while on the tour.
Yeah.
And they all had eerily similar stories to tell. Many reports saying a blue lady who some believe is the ghost of a woman who's married to Port Arthur accountant. Okay. The couple apparently lived in the penal colony during the 1800s. And then goes on to the accounts. I saw the figure of a lady in a crinoline dress and a bonnet with arms outstretched. The woman had a pale dress from waist to ground. The figure of these are all different accounts. The figure of a youngish woman wearing a long blue-gray dress, looking out of a back door of the building. Legend is the woman and her baby died during childbirth. So she keeps returning to the particular building day after day looking for her unborn child. Oh, I didn't realize that her baby died also during childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just her.
Yeah, no, mother and daughter both died.
Wow. Others reported seeing a little girl who has fallen down the stairs at the commandant's house. I felt a little girl laying at the
That's
bottom.
commandant, but okay.
Commandant, Commanda, Commandant. How you spell command, Dave? Command.
It's commandant. It's commandant. It's
No
Australian.
It's commandant. Debbie Dave.
It's circumcised. No.
Like a so
Be careful.
Be careful, Dave. Be careful. Damn you. So let's say I felt the little girl laying at the bottom of the stairs. One person said she was laying in a pool of blood. Her right arm is broken. She is really scared. I could hear the little girl as I walked up the path. These are all different accounts.
Not recently.
Not recently, though. Her arm is twisted up under her. I felt like my arm was hers. Let's not get into Dave's dowsing rod again. The children run up and down the stairs, playing and laughing. And on balmy, still summer nights, you can hear them playing hopscotch and singing skipping songs.
I said no.
I guess so.
That's just. Sorry, I'm just reading the story.
Oh, I was showing you a picture, but all right.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Because I wasn't sure if you were looking at it or you were trying to make it out or.
I like this one.
So this is a picture from the Port Arthur Asylum,
which we haven't even talked about yet.
We haven't even gotten to that yet. So it was basically like they have a guided tour, but then once you get down into the bowels of the place, you can kind of explore anywhere by yourself. So Um, there
Wow.
was a full on voice that came through while they were doing a tour that said, "What are you doing?"
Oh, yeah.
EMF spikes here, um, apparitions, feeling of being watched or followed all over this place. And then the magistrate's house is completely made of the limestone is completely in the basement. So the basement is all limestone,
Oh. And you have
including a
water
table.
there?
What's that?
And you have running water right there?
Yeah.
Limestone?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, that there's a limestone table and a wall behind it with a rather odd head-shaped indent in it. It's rumored that people see faces in this wall.
Really?
It's bright.
Yes. People have been touched here, tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah.
EVPs being told to get out. A person felt like a spider dropped on him, but there was nothing on him.
Oh, this in the asylum, the spirits of an elderly woman, and a young girl have been sighted within the asylum. The building actually also functioned as a schoolhouse at one point in existence. Disembodied footsteps have been heard. Light fixtures have a tendency to move on their own.
That's a poltergeist point.
Yeah.
So there was one time, and I think it's still the magistrate's quarters where, no, it's in the asylum where they got an EVP when they asked it. They said, "Is it true that many people have died here?" And the EVP said, "Yes, exactly."
Oh shit.
Virgil EVP stands for electronic voice
Man.
phenomena. This is where you actually take an audio recorder and you hit record and you ask questions of the spirits, and if the spirits don't have enough energy to respond to you directly, they can sometimes respond and you can hear it in the recorder. So that's what EVP is for.
Oh, then you got the separate.
It's bright.
I ain't even talked about that yet either.
Yeah. Oh,
The
there's
separate
so
prison.
much here, bro.
There's 60 buildings in this place now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it were torn down and rebuilt, but
Yeah.
there's some still standing.
But in the separate prison, people have actually claimed to be touched and even scratched by something unseen.
Yes.
Don't come in.
The blue gray lady or the gray blue lady, whatever you want to call her, seems to be the most prominent sighting around this place, though.
Yeah. They say
Also,
that the most haunted building at Port Arthur is what's called the Parsonage.
oh, I got a ghostly priest has been seen here. Of
I
course,
remember our
the
ghost tube said
bodiless,
priest before we got
yeah,
started.
yeah, distorted bodiless
Above.
faces. Of course, we talked about the floating head,
Hmm.
black figures. I'm pretty sure they're talking about shadow figures when they say that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's shadow figures. So yeah, I've got the parsonage has bright flashing lights,
Lower
loud
your
bang-
voice.
lower your voice, ghostly footsteps, phantom strangulations.
We don't want to wake the baby.
Don't wake the baby.
Don't wake the baby.
I said no butt stuff. So there was one thing I wanted to read. So there was a printing done in 1893 in a newspaper called The Clipper, and it was entitled "The Haunted Parsonage." And it says, on one particular night, Mrs. Price was unable to sleep. Suddenly, she became conscious that somebody had entered her room, and glancing toward the door, beheld a human figure draped in white. Her first thought was to make a move or to speak, but it struck her that the intruder might be a burglar in disguise, intent on robbing her of her jewel case, and that to attract attention to herself might possibly mean something serious against her life. She therefore lay motionless, but with eyes half open, following the movements of the supposed burglar. The mysterious figure, having entered the room, went through the motion of striking a match upon the wall, and immediately afterwards there was the appearance of light, as if from a lucifer.
Oh wait.
This done it.
Hello.
What?
But she just struck a match. Wouldn't there be light if you strike a match?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it wasn't a flame, or at least, but this was the figure that came in struck the match on the wall,
Oh, okay.
not her.
That's
So this done, it then made its way around to the foot of the bed to a cot in which one of the children slept. For a moment it stood looking at the sleeping child. Then it turned around, glided silently out of the room, and was gone.
interesting. That's interesting.
And this was 1893.
Disgusting.
Right?
Wow. So Dave, Kevin asked a pretty good question. I'm not used to this.
You're not used to him asking a good question?
So he says, so is the blue lady a nun?
I think
I
it could possibly
think,
be a nun. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't think so though, because she was said to have died during childbirth, giving birth to her child.
Well, nuns can get pregnant. It's not.
Well, yes, nuns can get pregnant, but that would basically make her no longer a nun if she ended up getting pregnant.
No, you wouldn't get none anymore. It'd just be NONE instead of NUN.
You wouldn't get
You wouldn't get none. You got none, no more none for you.
got some.
None. So are you tanned or is it a fake tan? I'm like, are you talking to me or him?
Yeah. I'm
Because
I'm
I'm burnt.
oh, that's good. You went
I'm
disc golf.
I went and played disc golf yesterday, so I am burnt. And then I was working in the yard today.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I'm burnt.
Disgusting.
I know it is disgusting. Thank you.
Again, Dave. Well, you think we're ready to score this one, Dave?
I think we're ready to score. I mean, I've got more.
There's tons on this place.
There's tons. like like a Ouija board session
Oh,
that was done here,
that doesn't sound smart at all.
where it was, are you female? No. Are you male? Yes. Are you a commandant? Commandant? Yes.
Command
Are you Boyd? No. Are you Booth?
commanded
Yes.
at the command.
Were you happy here? Yes. And then when it said when they asked if he was happy here and he said yes, they heard a door lock.
Oh,
And this is in the commandant's quarters. It was when they did this session.
and
How are
you will be
you?
happy here too.
We're happy here and you are staying.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I mean,
Wow. I don't
yeah,
like Ouija
let's
board.
score, let's go ahead and score this, but it's shh,
All right. So,
I've got pictures of mists. I've got the stuff that we showed you that I did grab. But this is an awesome location. It's just massive.
oh,
All
can
right,
okay.
let's score it.
So the residual of this place, Dave, is probably off the hook here. You
Yeah,
got floating heads, you got kids running around, you got
children's laughter, which could be residual, could
residual.
be non-human. So we got
Could
to
be
consider
non-human.
that.
I feel yeah, I always
Yeah.
disguising themselves. Oh, you
Is
got
it?
the soldier walking around, you got
Yeah, we got. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, geez.
Kevin's at a 8, he says. Kevin says residual 8. I
Okay,
think I'm
that's
higher.
not bad. I'm a little higher than that, though. I think.
I think on the residual level here, I think there's a lot of I'm not even going off the potential of the potential here for residual is a
Lady.
10, with over 1,000 body people dying here, but I'd
Mhm.
probably put this at a 9.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're sitting at, Dave. What do you think? What do you think?
yeah.
9,
No, I'm at a 9.
10, 9?
I'm at a 9.
Okay, so here's the all right. So the intelligent,
Disgusting.
it's disgustingly high.
Disgustingly high.
Don't leave me.
I'm not. I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. um, I I wouldn't be able to demonstrate an EVP. I understand the fascination on it.
Yeah,
You can actually
yeah.
check out a ton of paranormal investigation shows. A good one would probably be I don't know if you have Netflix or I know the Netflix over there is a little bit different than what we have over here, but I'm pretty sure you can watch 28 Days Haunted. Um,
Dude,
great
that
one
was so
with
good.
Sean
So,
Austin, Shane Pittman.
so
Yeah, we
I have
actually
a digital recorder, and I think you have the exact same thing.
got the exact same one sitting
Yeah.
right here. Yeah.
So the next time I actually do an
Ryan.
investigation, I will see if I can get an EVP.
Fortunately, I was unable to when I did mine. And then there's you got again. I'll point you to Scare Network
Yeah,
TV. It's a
yeah.
great
They get
place.
quite a bit.
And tons
Yeah.
of
Check out
paranormal.
Malefice
Yeah, Malefice,
and the Amityville Resurgence.
Amityville Resurgence, super good ones.
Really good ones.
I know you can get
Ronald.
scarenetwork.tv out there. It is subscription service too, as well, like Netflix, but a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Virgil asks, "Does this ever scare you?"
um, it's been a long time since something like this has actually scared me. I'd have to say. Have I- is, and I'm gonna kind of go off of Kevin's statement right underneath that. Have I ever tried to explain the man in the hat? Um, Top Hat is probably the whole reason I don't necessarily get scared by this
Yeah.
stuff anymore.
It's bright.
I don't want to necessarily say that he's made me, what's the word, desensitized to it.
Desensitized.
Um,
Is that better?
but he is definitely taught me that I don't necessarily need to be scared of everything that's out there. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Like if I went, like, again, for some odd reason, like me and Dave talked about this a lot, is I'm not scared of Penhurst. And I think, if I got there and doing the investigation, I'm probably sure there would probably be things that freaked me out doing that investigation. But I've I've gone wholeheartedly into investigation, and not like I've done a ton of them or anything like that. But I don't necessarily have fear of doing this stuff.
No.
I'm not scared to bring anything home with me because, well, shit, I live in a
Adam.
haunted house. Uh, and worst case scenario, if I do bring something home for me, it's just food for Top Hat. So, I don't worry about that stuff. It's like, hey, I brought you home a doggy bag, Oh, Dave, what about you? Do you get scared on this stuff?
No, not really. Like you said,
Disgusting.
it is disgusting, but yeah, I could get freaked out. I could get startled, and but to actually, like, what you were saying about Penhurst. See, Penhurst is one of the ones that I'm apprehensive about going to, but one that I absolutely want to do.
Yeah, I know that's a place that worries you, but I don't necessarily think it scares
No, I'm
you.
not scared of. If I was scared of it, I wouldn't go. I would say
Yeah,
no. I'm not going to do that one.
yeah.
But
I'm scared of needles. I'm not scared of ghosts.
yeah, I'm scared of cockroaches. I'm not scared of ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, most people are scared of the dark. Smart people are scared of not being alone in the dark.
Not being alone in the dark. But that's
And
okay.
that's
And
and
he
that's
doesn't have Netflix. So if you do get a chance to go to Scare Network TV,
yeah.
check some of the stuff that they've got there. But you could find
And I know Nick
there's
Groff
paranormal
did.
shows all over YouTube
I
that
know
Scared.
Nick Groff had on Discovery UK. He was doing his show out there.
To
his
your
Death
left.
Walker show, right?
His Death Walker series
Yeah.
is out there. That's kind of where he started it at, was in the UK. So you could check his stuff out. He's got plenty of examples of EVP as well there.
Yep.
And check that stuff out, man. Get on YouTube, check out some of these paranormal shows on YouTube.
Yeah. Because you can actually go on YouTube and just search for EVP
Yeah,
footage,
and you'll
and
find
you'll
tons of that.
find tons of content.
And I don't necessarily say it'll keep you from being scared of it, but it'll help you
It'll help you understand what it is.
understand what it is, and maybe even intrigue your curiosity even more, to where
It's
maybe your
bright.
curiosity outweighs your fear of it. So it's good stuff. So is that Bird's Voice EVP? I didn't hear Bird's voice. Kevin, we'll catch you later, man. Love you.
All right, love you, brother. Is that the old lady that is strangely attractive? Is that the bird is talking about?
I don't
So, I mean,
know.
I think bird refers to woman, but um,
Oh no, or I might be talking about my bird hopping in the background.
yeah, female voice. But yeah, female voices. Yeah, I've heard female voices on EVP. Male voices. I've heard what appears to be non-human or demonic. I've heard voices like that, screams.
Oh yeah.
And not just voices. You can hear like a door slam or a gunshot or something like that
That
that you don't catch with your normal ears, but is on your recorder.
yeah, it's very interesting. EVPs are very interesting.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to our scoring, bro. Let's talk about the intelligent haunts here.
Crime.
Intelligent. Yeah, a lot of crime here.
A lot of crime. It was a prison.
It was a prison. It wasn't meant to be a prison, but it became a prison.
Yep. And then they were like, yeah, Britain just like, let's throw everybody there.
I
So
think intelligence is a little hard here. I think.
Who are you?
I'm good.
I mean, I know we got the shadow figures.
Yep.
Trying to think what else could be intelligent here. Is the commandant intelligent?
I think so because they talked to him in the commandant's quarters.
That's true. That's true.
Not.
What about the last story you talked about with the guy that struck the match?
That's interesting. I absolutely think that that's intelligent because it actually walked around the bed and stared at a child on a cot.
Okay.
And it would have had to have acknowledged that.
Do you think some of the kids playing and stuff like that have an intelligence to them?
Maybe. I do think that's more residual.
Yeah, I think so too.
What about the lady in gray blue that died during childbirth? You think?
It didn't feel like there was anything really intelligent about her. I thought
Yeah.
she was more residual than anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are actually still 30 buildings present on the site.
Yeah, they still have half the building still erected.
Yeah. So the ghost of the little girl running between rooms, or the ghost with the pale face pressed against the window.
What about the thing that happened to Jeffrey?
Jeffrey? Well, with the devil, I think that's intelligent. I think we got to give points to non-human there, even though it's only his account.
Definitely a woman's voice, not intelligent.
My wife's in the house, bro. I'm not.
Yeah, my wife, my love watches this
right.
No comment, bro. No comment. No comment on that one, Virgil. I'm not agreeing with anything you say.
So what were you saying before I brought up the devil? You said
the girls. The girl running between the rooms, the girl with her face pressed against the window. Do you think those are residual or
shouldn't be here?
I'm gonna say intelligent because I don't think a residual is gonna leave a face mark on the window.
That's what I'm thinking too. Maybe the one running between the rooms might be residual, but the one with her face pressed against the window, I think that's intelligent.
So do you think the intelligent here is as high as the residual?
No, I don't think so.
Because I was thinking on the intelligent about maybe 6 or 7 level.
Right.
I'm kind of in that area too. I'm leaning toward the 7, but I could go 6.
No, I was kind of leaning towards the 7 too, actually.
Okay. All right, let's do 7.
All right.
All right, poltergeist activity. There's quite a bit of this.
Yeah, you got the light fixtures moving. You
got people being pushed, touched, tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah.
You got.
I didn't see anything about other objects moving.
No, I just got the thing that just said poltergeist activity.
Yeah. How do you consider that picture with that light phenomena? Would you consider that poltergeist?
The orb or the spirit energy? No, I think that, well, that's a manifestation. But I think that's residual. Could be intelligent too, but I think
in the eye of the beholder.
Holy water.
Holy water. This is my holy water.
Yes. Holy water.
I think the intelligent here, the poltergeist activity here is not as high as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot lower than what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting a lot more poltergeist activity here. With that said, I'd probably give the poltergeist activity probably around a 3 or 4. I think it's below mid-range here.
Wow.
If there is more, they're not talking about it. They state that there's poltergeist activity, but they're not stating what that poltergeist activity is. So, to give it an accurate score, I can't necessarily give it really an accurate score, right?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of accounts of people being touched in several buildings.
Prison.
And yes, it is a prison.
But I can put that more to intelligence too.
Yeah, we can put that to intelligent, but we could
I know you like putting the touch to poltergeist activity.
because it's physical. I like putting that to objects too, because
Yeah.
something is being touched or moved or
But you are right. There is a lot of accounts of people being touched.
yeah. Because I'm not high, but I was like 5 or 6 was where I was at.
Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. With how many accounts of people being touched, scratched.
Yeah, like visible scratches
Yeah.
on
I'd
people.
probably go
Lights.
with a 6.
Okay, so at the where was this one? Is this the commandant's
Be careful.
cottage? The lights would go on and off on either side of the bed. So one light would go on, the other one would go off, and
Yeah,
back
vice
and forth.
versa.
So that's definitely poltergeist.
Yeah, I'd go 6 here. I'd go a 6.
6 it is.
6
Non-human. Yes.
Dave, the devil himself showed up.
Himself was on the island.
I don't know if it was the devil.
Caused Mr. Jeffries to want to beg to come back to the prison. Please let me come back to the prison.
And you're
Please,
like,
please.
No.
You can put me in the hood and put me in the tiny room. I don't care. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
But then also there's shadow figures.
Shadow figures, yep.
Reported. But I mean, you've got to lay claim to, someone claiming that the devil was there. Plus, we have the church that was deconsecrated.
Oh, deconsecrated church. What about the headless or the bodiless figure, the head floating?
The head floating? Do you think that's non-human?
Why would there be a head floating around?
Yeah, but that could be residual. It's in the dissection room. I think that was logical. I think that just makes sense.
That just spoke for itself. Why wouldn't there be a head floating around?
It's the dissection room. Why wouldn't there be a disembodied head? That's funny. Disembodied voices, but there's actually a disembodied head.
There's also literally a disembodied head.
Your Honor, the defense rests. So yeah. No, I don't know if I want to put a non-human element on that.
Okay.
Also, isn't there like animal ghosts, like dogs and cats? Here, I can't remember. No, it was someplace else.
It was someone else.
It was somewhere else. It was one of the other sites that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So never mind about that. I was just wondering if there was any animal spirits
I didn't see
or
any animal
thing going on.
spirits. Not in this.
But yeah, no, definitely. I think
I have to give a lot of credit.
Non-human's pretty solid here,
I'm gonna give a lot of credit to the devil himself showing up
and the church. Those are my two main things.
the non-consecrated grounds.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna put the non-human at an 8.
Yep.
You're picking up what I'm putting down. You're
I'm picking up. I'm sponging what you're spilling, brother.
All right, so let's talk about the history of this place.
Wow.
This
So it started in 1830 as a timber station, and then they turned it into a prison. They closed the doors in 1877.
Yeah.
And they auctioned the buildings off.
Yeah.
So
And then in 1996 decides to blast 36 people.
Yeah, decides to just shoot everybody. Kill 35 and wound 23.
Dead.
Exactly.
I like the history here. I mean,
it's good history.
Australia's a lot of good histories.
I think it's better than the one we done on Scare Network.
What do we score that one? Let me think. Yeah, I was thinking 7.
Yeah.
You're cool with 7?
Yeah, I'm cool with 7.
All right.
Manifestation.
Yes.
Fucking
Fucking
everywhere. Ghosts everywhere. Orbs, mists, faces in the mirror, in the windows.
Oh yeah.
Disembodied heads.
Again, you got a guy that lit a fucking match.
Yeah. And you saw the light that it created.
Oh, the light that
it match on the wall. So that had to physically make contact with the wall in order to generate the spark.
And I'm not even getting into the dude saw the devil.
Yeah. I got to be at a 10.
I think I might be with you here. This is one of those ones where like it doesn't have I don't think it had I mean it's pretty close to having just about as much as the one we did on Scare Network television, but it also has that solidity feel to the manifestations, you know, they're
where the woman in 1893 absolutely thought there was a burglar in her house. She thought that was a live person.
Yeah. And then poof,
walks over to the wall, lights a match, walks over to the child on the cot. Yeah. And then just turns around and glides right out the door and disappears.
Poof. I'm a 10. I'm a 10.
Yeah.
I'm a 10.
I'm glad, bro, because I already wrote it down.
Audio. There's a lot of audio in this place.
Audio.
Footsteps, children laughing, children playing, people talking to you.
Door slamming.
EVPs, doors slamming. Tons and tons of stuff here. And again, I'll bring up the devil talked to the guy.
Yeah.
She heard the match strike.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Just
we forgot about the older woman in the rocking chair that's been seen.
The older woman in the rocking chair. Oh my God, forgot about her.
That might lay to the. No, I think I'm still going to leave the residual at 9, but
I don't think it's enough to bring it to a 10.
Yeah.
But I think the audio here is really good.
Footsteps all over the place.
Disembodied voices. And again,
I think the audio's really good. Like 8.
I think, that's kind of where I'm right around where I'm sitting is an 8.
Yeah.
Do animals go to heaven? My beloved hamster Herbert was eaten by my pet cat Gertrude. Is she still with me? Gertrude showed me no remorse.
Gertrude and the animals don't have remorse for that. But yes, all animals go to heaven.
Do they, Dave?
I think so.
All animals go to heaven?
All of them.
I've met some asshole animals. Why do animals get a free pass, but we don't?
they say, for sure that all dogs go to heaven. There's a movie on it, so that's got to be
the only one for sure I know go to heaven.
Maybe not cats. We don't like cats.
They're not cats. Not sure about gerbils or hamsters.
Not sure about gerbils or hamsters, but
was it a good gerbil or hamster? That's how do you I'm just saying, cats are assholes.
Cats are assholes.
So let's talk about feels of this place, Dave.
Oh man,
dread, sorrow,
sadness,
about the emotional sadness.
Front.
being
We're
watched.
starting at a 5 here. I'm just gonna put that out there right
Yeah,
now.
there's contact. It's got to be a 5.
We're starting at
There,
Hidden right.
the woman, with the dude with the match,
Touch.
the fear that she felt.
Oh Jesus, yeah, touch, yeah. Uh,
Um,
on the if I had to just base this off the emotional aspect of what Jeffrey saw and what he went through,
make him want to come back to the prison. Yeah,
and what the woman went through with the dude with the match, I would probably put Fields at a 10 just based off those 2 experiences. And that's without being touched.
so I
The
take it you're
amount
at a
of
10.
I'm at a 10 here.
That's
The
good.
amount of fear and dread and overwhelming just everything all at once happening to you, the fear of your child maybe being taken or hurt while this dude lumbers over it. I speaking to the devil, you know. And then you have being touched on top of it in locations, being
Hidden
scratched.
right.
Yeah, I think I have to be a 10 here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm at 10. Objects, Dave. Objects.
Objects are pretty good. I mean, I'm um going back to the wall with the faces in them.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. The
Um,
lights going on and off.
the lights
Multiple
going on and off. The
light fixtures moving.
mhm.
People being touched. You like putting that on the object.
I
Another
gotta
unit.
give a little bit to the spirit board, the
Oh, I
session that they
forgot
had.
about the spirit session. I hate Ouija boards. Um, yeah, I'm not super high though on the objects. I think I'm
No,
more mid range here. I think I'm
yeah,
kind of sitting around a 5 or a 6.
I think I'm around a 6. I'm gonna match the poltergeist score and go 6.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'll go 6. I'll match that poltergeist score. Kind of coincides with each other.
Mhm.
Danger level, Dave.
Danger level's interesting here.
I got this weird feeling this place is a little bit
Cool.
okay. A little bit more. I
Be
finally
careful.
understand the female voice that Virgil keeps hearing.
I don't know. I'm
I'm,
feeling a little malaise on that one.
I'm like, what female voice is he talking about? Okay, so Virgil, we run an Ovulus on both. Me and Dave both run Ovuluses on both sides.
That's what he's
We
hearing. Oh my god.
we run we run them through our board here so you guys can actually hear what it's saying. Um, I don't know why I didn't pick this up.
I didn't pick this up until now. That's okay. That's too many beers. I gotta blame the alcohol on that.
But yes,
Oh my
on the,
god,
does the
Virgil, I'm so
EVP,
sorry.
the EVP no? Oh. Bees were like aircrafts for ants. I'm sorry. So Daniel, we gotta get through this day. We're already an hour and a half in the show.
I know. We're like,
Uh,
man.
so
Um,
danger
I
level
gotta
on this one. I think this place is more dangerous than what probably think it is. I
Yeah.
based off the
F,
feels, the manifestations, the non-human
the
element.
touching for sure, it's gotta be a 5. Um,
Scared.
because
Yeah,
one of the things that it said was phantom strangulations.
Disgusting.
phantom strangulations. That's dangerous, Dave.
That's like a ghost choking you. Like,
Yeah, and we've talked about something like that before.
yeah.
I I'm not a 10.
No, I think I'm 8, 9
I was
area.
thinking 8. I
8.
think I'm gonna be at an 8.
I think I'm
I
8, yeah.
think 8 is
I
a good
wanted to go 7, but when I remembered the phantom strangulations, I was like, "No, I think we better put it at an 8."
I think we'll go 8. What's that total for us here?
That gives us a 79.
79. That's a really good score. Surprisingly, we agreed on all 10 aspects there, dude. No
Yeah,
no
we did.
halves
No
on that
halves on that one.
one. So, we are gonna take a quick break. Um, we'll be right back. Of course, you don't buy beer, you only rent it. But when we come
Yep.
back, I think we'll go into Aradale when we come
Let's do
back.
Airedale.
So we'll talk about Aradale Mental Hospital, or as I wrote it down, Aradale Mental Hospital. Iron Maiden. Uh,
Yeah.
when we come back, enjoy the creepy music. We'll be right back. All right. He's back. Maybe. Now he's back. Ah. A bee with an ant on it. Oh. So we are going to talk about Aradale Mental Hospital. So Virgil, this will be right up your alley.
Scream.
Well, where do you want to start with this one, Dave?
Well, let's go ahead and we'll start, with the history. That seems like the best way
It's
to go.
bright.
I know. You keep telling me that, and I keep like
Maybe
making
it's
changes, and you keep like bugging me about it. So I don't know what the hell to tell you.
maybe your future's so bright, Dave. You got to wear shades.
I got to wear shades. I must have to do that. Maybe that's it. So the Aradale Mental Hospital, also known by the name Ararat Lunatic Asylum.
Fool.
It's a psychiatric hospital in Ararat, Victoria, Australia. The Aradale Mental Hospital was commissioned along with two other asylums, the Kew and Beechworth asylums, to accommodate the growing number of lunatics in the colony of Victoria. And some of these lunatics never left. So it says, when gold was found in Victoria, thousands of immigrants came to look for fortune. Unfortunately, disappointment was more commonly found than gold. Some even lost their minds over this. Back in these days, insane criminals were placed in normal prisons, where they weren't given the proper care. The government of Victoria wanted Aradale to relieve the prison system of those thought to be criminally insane. So construction started in 1860. The first inmates, as the patients were referred to, were brought to the facility in 1865. Soon, not only the criminally insane were housed there, but it was also a place for individuals suffering from mental illness. Think about conditions such as postnatal depression, epilepsy, autism, and Down syndrome. The mental hospital was in operation for nearly 130 years and closed its doors in 1993. At its height, it housed 1,000 patients and 500 staff members. The Aradale Mental Hospital was built as a town within a town. It had its own market gardens, orchards, vineyards, and a piggery.
Well,
Disgusting.
Right. There were also a gallows, a morgue, and a graveyard located on site.
why were there gallows?
Well, it was criminally insane, so maybe they did do executions there.
That's a little different at
Yeah.
a mental hospital that ran to 1993.
Yeah.
But this
There
is my
were the facility had a total of 63 buildings, and the courtyards were walled with so-called ha-ha walls. These
I love the
I like
ha-ha
this. I'm like, haha, okay. These kind of walls were used in early Victorian asylums. From the outside, it seemed like a low wall, so as not to suggest imprisonment. But on the other side, a deep
Disgusting.
trench was dug that would make it impossible to escape the wall.
That's
So they have a picture of it.
Yeah. Did you pull that into our pictures here?
I did not, but I'm gonna grab it right now.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I got it, Dave.
You got it?
Yeah. There's the picture. So to the right would be the outside of the facility,
Yeah.
and to the left would be the inside of the facility, with probably what looks like maybe another 10-foot trench dug down to the bottom of the wall.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it looked like maybe an
I'm
8-foot wall, and then but on the other side it's 18 foot.
Yeah,
Like some Harry Potter shit.
yeah. When I first read haha walls, I was thinking walls lined in
Bubble wrap?
yeah, basically
Is it me? I was thinking bubble wrap, but I
cushioned
mean I
walls,
might
you know what I mean?
it was a haha or haha you can't get out because the fence is electrified. Ha ha.
This guy's sitting there pushing the wall.
disgusting.
Ha ha. Oh, that was hot. Um,
Ugh. It's kind of weird that Aradale is actually considered a ghost town now, though.
yeah. Well, because it was a town within a town, and now there's like nobody there, right? So, the J ward, um, which was the jowl or the prison of the mental hospital, was developed in December of 1886. It was a
Evil.
place for people who would normally be detained in jails, reformatories, and other places of confinement, but who appeared to be insane. Most notorious criminals that were in J ward. Some of them include Gary Webb, Mark Chopper Reed, and William Bill Wallace.
I don't know none of those guys.
Me neither. That's got to be an
Gotta
Australian
be an
thing.
Australian
I'm
thing.
guessing they're like famous serial killers, or I'm imagining serial. But when it said William Wallace, I'm thinking Braveheart, and I don't know. They cannot take our freedom.
Freedom!
Art. during the, during during the 130 years of operation, over 13,000 inmates, patients, and staff members died here.
Jesus.
Disgusting. How are you?
I'm fine.
I don't know how to take that sentence.
I don't know how to take that. Are you calling me disgusting? Hey, disgusting. How are you? This certainly leaves an emotional mark on the building. Some say Aradale is the most haunted place in Australia, which is what they said about the other places that we've talked about. Ghost tours are available and have many reports of visitors feeling nauseous, fainting, and experiencing sudden pains.
Oh,
Some ghosts of the past like to make themselves known to those
She
who
told
live.
me.
She told you what?
I don't know.
I don't know. It says she told me. She told you what?
Disgusting.
Will you stop saying that?
It's funny because it doesn't feel like the echo that you used to get.
No, because it waits a while before it gives it me. Because
Yeah.
there was one time where it was like disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Lady of the
Yeah.
night. It's just like
Lady of the night. So George Freemantle was the last governor of the
the
Jowl.
governor, yeah.
In 1886, George was proudly showing a group of people around. He was just coming down the stairs when he suffered a major heart attack. George Freemantle died at the spot. Tour guides and visitors claim to hear heavy footsteps made by hobnailed boots walking up and down the stairs. But when they check it out, no one is there, and they actually believe that to be George Freemantle.
Right. So
100.
1 point for residual, I think.
1 point for the residual. Gary Webb, who was one of the notorious people you were mentioning, had a long list of criminal activities when he was finally caught and put inside Aradale. He was about to rob a pizza shop when he was spotted by a policeman. He shot the policeman, who survived, and the woman who owned
Doris.
the shop, who is still in a wheelchair today, but was caught. He was sentenced to prison for 14 years. He was told that when he behaved well, he was able to reduce his sentence. Gary probably didn't want to leave at all and started writing letters to the media telling them what horrible things he was planning to do once he got out.
Yeah.
Politicians were very worried, and a special law was passed to keep him locked up for the rest of his life. Gary became a self-mutilator at Aradale. He was hospitalized over 70 times after cutting himself. He even cut off his own penis 3 times.
This is where you don't confuse penal with penile.
The
Just gonna
third
say.
time, it was too damaged to reattach. Gary still haunts his former room, telling everybody to get up. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would have died after the first time.
I wouldn't have fucking reattached it the first time. Okay, fine. You want to pull a John Wayne Bobbitt? You go ahead. I'm gonna just.
They put it on back on twice, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do not.
We're back on the bee riding ants thing, I think.
Oh yeah.
Moths have a bigger wingspan, but moths are just ugly butterflies. Yep.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
So there's the office of the superintendent. Visitors of Aradale who walk past the former office of the superintendent sometimes taste a bitter taste in their mouth.
This is that taste we were talking about.
This is the taste one. I wanted it. According to reports, the superintendent died by suicide after swallowing prussic acid or hydrogen cyanide. This was probably a man by the name of Dr. William L. Mullen, who died in 1912.
Wow. Why would you cyanide?
Nasty.
And of course, most it seems like all these older prisons and asylums seem to be co-ed.
Disgusting.
How did I know that was coming, Dave?
It seems to me all mine wants to say now.
But the woman's ward is actually said to be haunted by Nurse Carrie. She watches over the tour guides. Most ghosts in the beer's catching up, and nurses' uniforms have been seen through the hospitals. Some people have experienced a tingling sensation on one side of their head inside a certain room.
Okay, no, which head?
I'm sorry. The certain room used to be the shock therapy ward, Dave. Not the tingling sensation you were thinking.
No, it's not. I guess that would require the head nurse.
Definitely not the tingling sensation that Gary Webb will ever feel.
Oh, nothing tingling for Gary anymore.
Ain't nothing tingling for Gary anymore.
Third time's a charm, Gary. You are now non-binary. I don't know. What do you want to call it? You're you are now transgender.
There is another room at the J ward where people actually suddenly feel ill and unreasonably afraid. Other people slip into a trance-like state which will pass once they are outside. People
That's
have,
interesting.
yeah. I was like, whoa, really? What?
So, okay, so let me ask you,
I
is
think
this
that's some
is this
form
a
of,
possession?
yeah, I think that's some form of prepossession.
Yeah.
Oppression?
Turn it
It's
off.
something. No. Uh, that's an interesting
An
one.
an oppression is where someone's being manipulated from outside.
Yeah, this is something being manipulated
That's
definitely from
something
the inside.
inside. So this seems like a
This
possession or, um,
at least trying to
at least
possess.
trying to,
People have been reported being pushed and bitten
a
at J Ward.
and
People have,
bitten.
yes, and bitten at J Ward. People have heard ticking clocks, methodical bangings on the wall as if someone is banging their head,
Mhm.
and cameras and other electrical equipment seem to malfunction.
See, now
Be
that's some
careful.
poltergeist activity. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
yes.
Let's go.
The ward is also
Oh,
haunted by
cool.
3 prisoners who were hanged and buried at Aradale because
Hence
they
the
were
gallows.
is that buried or buried?
Buried. It's it's buried. They're buried.
Hanged and buried at Aradale
They're hunged and
because they
buried.
were convicted of murder.
Right.
They
Put them,
weren't given a
put them in
Christian
oil
burial.
and burn them.
The graves were only marked with 3 small scratches in the prison wall.
Ah,
Cheating.
How's that cheating? Oh, that's hilarious. Cheating.
wish I could find a picture of that wall though with the marks. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, I was looking for that one too, and I couldn't find it. I was a little disappointed.
Mhm.
Ah,
So they do offer ghost tours. So today, a large part of the former lunatic asylum belongs to Melbourne Polytechnic.
Heart
Um,
attack.
they've established a campus. Yeah, the superintendent died of a heart attack.
yes,
Uh, or the governor. It was the
governor.
governor guy. They established a campus and a hospitality training facility. There's also a vineyard, an olive grove, and a lavender farm. But they do offer ghost tours. So I'm getting my ticket to Australia pretty soon because these are some great spots.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Nurse Carey seems to be one of the most well-known ghosts that actually roam the halls of this place. Seen by many and heard by even more. There have been many reports of hearing the click of a woman's high heels throughout the empty ward, as well as the soft sounds of a woman's voice, something that Carrie was known for in life as having a soft voice. Some other spirits to roam Erdel are not as friendly as Nurse Kelly, though. Many people have encountered dark shadows throughout the asylum
Right.
or been physically affected by unseen forces. This is particularly common within the former men's wings, where people claim to have been bitten, scratched, and pushed. Seems fitting given that this would have been the area where the most dangerous patients were kept. That must be talking about the J ward again, right? I would
Yeah.
think.
It's got to be J Ward.
Boat.
Other paranormal phenomena to occur throughout the buildings that make up Airedale are hearing voices with when no one's around, being overcome with dizziness. There's another one. Nausea or headaches, as
Yeah.
well as encountering phantom smells, strange noises, apparitions, and having electrical devices interfered with.
Hmm. I got one. Other visitors claim feeling something invisible grab them, touch them, even hurt them in the men's wing where surgeries take place.
Ooh.
The now empty office where the facility's director did his work is reported to be freezing. The cold's reaching out to those passing by, either to ward them off or bring them inside. A ghost named Old Margaret has been seen several times throughout Aradale, roaming and wandering through the only home she ever had.
It's right.
With the facility closed, the patients were either moved to another facility or were released. Apparently, to Old Margaret, Aradale was her only home. So even in death, she dwells in the town that she called home.
Oh, here's one. Gary is said to haunt his former room, screaming at visitors to get out and pushing
Yes.
them out the door.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Ants can fly. I've
Yes.
seen Ant-Man.
And
I've
yes,
seen to the
There's two. Disgusting.
empathic.
cats do not give a shit. Yeah, I agree with
Cats,
that.
cats are the epitome of indifference. All right. So to kind of get us back, I think we've covered most everything. Let's go ahead and score it, since we spent a lot of time on
Port Arthur.
Port Arthur, and this will kind of get us back on track.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hit the residual here, Dave.
Mhm.
Disgusting.
I'm trying to think, out of all the stuff we talked about,
Yeah.
what is residual? Is
I
Nurse
think
Carrie residual?
no, I don't think so. I don't think Nurse Carrie is residual. I think that Governor Fiddamont's apparition with the boots and everything, I think that's residual.
I agree with that. The governor there.
Yeah, I think Gary Webb's intelligent.
I think Gary
Stop
Webb is
recording.
intelligent. Yep.
I think the bitter taste in their mouth with the superintendent, I think that's residual.
Okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, I don't think Nurse Carrie's residual. I think she's intelligent.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of residual going on in J Ward. It feels like J Ward is purely intelligent hauntings in there.
Or non-human. I think there's
Or
non-human.
non-human. Yeah.
Food.
So I think honestly, I think the residual here is
It's right.
not as high as Port Arthur.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think the residual here is actually, I think, substantially less than Port Arthur.
Yeah, I'm less for sure. I'm like 5 or 6.
I was thinking 6, which I think is substantially less. A 3-point difference is
Point difference is pretty substantial. I agree.
So I was thinking 6.
Yeah, no, I'm down for a 6.
Now, the intelligent, on the other hand, I think is better than Port Arthur. Because I think, like I said, I'll just talk right. Nurse Carrie is intelligent. I think just about everything that's happening in J Ward feels intelligent.
Yeah. I think Gary Webb's intelligent.
I think Gary Webb is intelligent. There's a lot
all this stuff, and the 3
shadow
prisoners that were killed. Yeah, I got to go 8 or 9 here.
I was thinking a 9, honestly, on the intelligent level.
I'm down for that. I'm down for a 9. There's good poltergeist activity here too.
There is good poltergeist activity here.
Yeah.
You got people being pushed. bitten, scratched. You got
So that's yeah. You got lights turning on and off.
lights turning on and off.
What was that? There was one that I was like, oh dude, totally. Um
Where was it?
oh, what about the ticking clocks?
Ticking clocks. Yeah, but
Do
is
you
that
think
audio or is that?
definitely audio?
Gone.
The bangings on the wall, the ticking
Oh,
clocks. Oh, electrical
How
equipment
are you?
malfunctioning.
a
That
lot of electrical equipment malfunctioning.
yeah, a lot of equipment that you're holding, the cameras and stuff that are there.
Yeah, interfering with electrical devices, not just malfunction, but actually interfering with them.
Yeah. What about the tinkling sensation on the side of your head because of the shock therapy ward?
I would
It's
definitely put that in the feels category. I don't know if I'd put that in the poltergeist category.
okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know now that the guy cutting off his penis 3 times, I'm putting that in objects.
Okay. B Would you say poltergeist activity is better than Port Arthur?
Hospital.
Yeah, we are talking about a
Yes,
hospital.
but not by much. Maybe a 7.
God damn it, I'm writing my scores in the wrong fucking place.
Are you picking up the 7?
Poltergeist activity 7, I'm picking that up. I'm picking that up.
14.
Maybe 14.
Maybe 14. I
Okay,
can't believe I was
that
right on.
ghost does not know how this show works.
No, it's 1 through 10, Ghost, 1 through 10.
It's 1 to 10. We don't do 14s. Um, non-human, and I think there's non-human here.
I very much think there is non-human here. Um,
There's shadow figures. Um, I think there's a whole bunch of
think
shit going
something
on in
about
J
being
Ward.
strangled again?
Yeah,
J Ward is freaking
J Ward's nasty. That would be the place that would be the place to do an overnight if you wanted to really get some shit.
yeah, I would have to agree with you there. The J Ward is just I'm just looking.
Disgusting.
Dude, what is up?
I don't know.
It was first you don't understand, or I don't understand, or something like that. I don't know. The non-human element is
Okay, is it the same or better than Port Arthur?
Port Arthur had the devil himself, so it's
Yeah,
hard to go against to
it's
say
hard to
that.
compare it to that. Yeah, I'm not
Dead.
there,
I don't
but I
think I'm
think
there.
I don't I'm thinking I'm at a 6, maybe a 7.
Oh, if you're maybe that means you're not at a 7.
That means I'm not quite at a 7. I'm kind of like 6.3.
I want to check something. Okay, that's what I thought. J Ward, I think I'm lowballing the score when I say this because I think J Ward has something going on there. But
I think
I'm gonna,
J Ward's got something going on
I
for
think
sure.
I'm gonna go 6 too. I mean, those shadow figures are worrisome. What's happening physically to people there are worrisome. So
Yeah, being bitten and
I'm gonna,
strangled and stuff like that. I think shit's going on. I even though they've reported multiple shadow figures, I think there's multiple non-human entities there,
yeah, I agree.
but no
Uh,
proof to really back that up. I'm kind of talking myself into a 7, but I think I'm still going to stay at a
Earth.
6.
I'm gonna stay at a 6. That's
It's
mine just
bright.
says. And what'd you say? It's right.
It's bright.
Oh, it's bright. It is bright. History. So I think the history here is just as good as the history of Port Arthur.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. I think it's right with it.
I don't think it's better than. So I think it's a little bit different, but
Yeah.
I think it's as good as Port Arthur. So I think I'm at a 7 still.
Yeah. No, I'm down for that.
Manifestations.
Yes.
Is this a 10 like we scored Port Arthur?
Oh, I forgot to. So just
Disgusting.
pictures
Yeah.
of Aradale. And that's
Oh, hold on, let me blow this one up. Yeah, it's got a
close
circle.
one.
Is that something?
I'm trying to make it out. I couldn't make anything out there. So that's what I wanted to put it there to see if you could see something, but I don't, unless there's something outside the door, but I think no, okay, there's like a mist
Oh, wait,
right there.
there
You
is
see
a
that?
person right here.
There's a
Shoulder,
figure there.
gown, right
Yeah.
behind the
Could
yeah,
that be Nurse Carrie?
I'm thinking that that might be Nurse Carrie. I had to maximize my screen and then lean back to see it. But yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
I was just focused in the wrong spot. I was looking outside the door.
I was looking outside the door too, but then as I kind of I was like, well, it's not really it's circling kind of the door itself.
Yeah.
Then I was looking down below and I'm like, okay, I see a difference in the shade.
I think I see some eyes in the face too. So I think that might be Nurse
To your
Carrie.
left.
Yeah, it is to the guy's left.
It is. It's to my left too, Dave.
It is to my left too.
That's an interesting one. I like that one. Ooh. Ooh. That's a good one. Did you show that one? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I showed that one while we were on break.
Yeah.
And then there's that one. That's the
Yeah. I think I is oh that's a good picture. Uh is manifestations equal to Port Arthur?
no.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think so. I'm not close to Port Arthur. But
I think it has more than Port Arthur, but I don't think it has that
not the solid.
yeah, the
Not the
match
not
guy,
the
the
yeah,
devil,
the match guy really put that over the top.
the devil
Uh,
too. I mean,
and the devil, even though, Jeffries was the only one that saw it, but something scared the shit out of him.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning toward an 8.
I was gonna say I think I'm at an 8 here.
Yeah.
That's kind of right, exactly where I was gonna be at.
Yep.
So audio. So we got Nurse Carrie with the soft voice going on. We got
Gary Webb telling people to get out.
yeah, Gary Webb telling people to get out. You got people banging their head. You got the clocks ticking.
Got the clocks ticking. Yeah, the
Uh,
head banging like
yeah,
they're at an Iron Maiden concert.
Disgusting.
that's right. Iron Maiden. I think
The heavy
their
footsteps of the
heavy,
governor.
yeah, heavy footsteps of the governor. Um
Ticking clocks, methodical bangings. Yeah, we talked about that. Equipment malfunctioning. That goes to objects.
I think that's pretty much all the
Cool.
audio though.
Yeah, I think that's it on the audio. It's good.
It is good. I think that's pretty good.
It's good. It's not I don't think it matches up to Port Arthur, but I think I'm at a 7.
You think Port Arthur was better?
Yeah, I think Port Arthur was better.
Yeah, the
because
match.
Port Arthur had all the EVPs and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm in agreement. I'm in
Dice.
agreement. And it really helped if I write my scores on the right fucking one again. That's twice I've done it, Dave.
How are
Feels.
you?
I'm doing good. John seems to be having a problem.
I'm having a problem writing scores. Feels for this location
Good.
is interesting. One, I think it's got the very first ever taste
Taste.
in this with the bitterness taste in your mouth. You got this the tingly feeling
Statue.
in your head at
Yeah, you
the
got the nausea,
nausea,
fainting,
dizziness,
experiencing
pain,
some pains.
experiencing pains. Yeah, people being scratched, bitten, pushed, shoved, strangled. Uh,
Strangled.
uh, is this anything but a 10?
I don't think so. I think this is a 10.
Yeah, this is a 10. I can't even talk myself out of a 10 here.
No. Because we gave Port Arthur a 10. I think this matches up to it.
Just, I mean, like I said, the experience of Port Arthur with the match guy and the devil himself would probably the emotional aspect of that would probably throw that as a 10. But this has so much physical activity, not just emotional. And then, of course, you got a taste, Dave. We finally got a taste.
Yeah.
I've never had a methodical banging.
I have. It's what happens when you've been married for 29 years.
Well, I've gotten 2 names in the last 5 minutes. I got a Ryan and a Joan. Interesting. I've names all night. Objects, Dave.
Speaking of penises,
Speaking of penises,
I'm
objects,
I'm
Dave.
objects. I'm giving points to that because guy cut his penis off 3 times. That's dedication.
But
I'm
is that paranormal, Dave?
It is to me. That is not normal.
I
It sure as hell is not normal, so that makes it paranormal, right? We talked about this. Can we prove why he did it? Because he's fucking bonkers. No, there's no proof. No, that's paranormal to me.
there's there's no floating penises around.
Cemetery.
Oh, Dave.
There's no floating penises saying get out, but yeah. Maybe that's why he's telling people to get out because he doesn't have a penis anymore.
Oh,
So yeah, scratches, objects, electronic equipment being malfunctioning or being being messed with.
yeah.
No, I'm not going to give that. I'm not going to give points to that.
What?
I was looking at the ghost scene in nurses' uniforms, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not a physical object. And
No,
then the tingling sensation near
that's
the shock therapy ward is not connected to an object, but it's kind of indirectly related to an object. I like the graves for the prisoners being the scratches on the prison wall. I like that.
okay.
I don't know
All
if
right.
that's not going to give me a bonus point. I don't think. But we always kind of look to the poltergeist activity, which is at a 7, and I think I'm going to match that again and go 7 for this too.
I can't be at a 7 here. I
It's bright.
the poltergeist activity with the pushing and biting of people and stuff, we kind of add into the poltergeist activity.
Yes. So are you higher than a 7?
No, I think I'm lower than a 7 because I
Real.
don't put as much weight in of people being an object because that's part of the feels, right? That's not necessarily part of the object portion.
Okay.
I don't put as much weight into the object of people being interacted with. The clocks are being heard, but they're not seen.
Yep.
People's
How are
equipment
you?
are malfunctioning, lights on and off, and all that good stuff. I get all that, but I don't think it's as good as Port Arthur, or I don't think it's as good as Poltergeist Activity. Sorry, I'd probably put it closer to Port Arthur with the 6,
Okay.
so we'd be a 6.5.
Yep. All right. Danger level.
This place feels dangerous.
It does. Feels dangerous to me too.
Again, people being choked, again, people being bitten and scratched. Uh, who knows what's going on with that tingling sensation? Are you literally getting an electrical voltage going through your head walking by that? Whether it be a residual voltage or not, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
Uh, the shadow figures worry me, of course.
The pushes, the strangulations, the biting,
Yeah.
that all gets me. Shadow figures for sure.
And we
We
didn't
have
even talk about
Cousin.
the possession here, Dave.
yeah, we didn't talk about the trance-like state
We didn't
because
talk about
that
translate
plays
state
into
at
the
all.
feels.
We didn't even I don't even think we added that into the non-human element.
No, if that was a possession, no, we didn't.
I think
So
I
I
higher
think
on
we
the
should move that
non-human.
to a 7.
A 7 or an 8, one of the 2.
Oh, no, that was a possession. Yeah, I think we should go 8.
I think you're right. I think we should go 8 on that,
Yeah.
on the non-human element, and because of that, I think my danger level is actually higher than Port Arthur as well, and I think I'm gonna put the danger level at a 9.
Even though the devil himself was at Port Arthur?
Devil wasn't trying to possess the dude. Wasn't trying to
Are you
take
sure about
control of
that?
the guy.
Right.
I'm not so sure about that.
He wasn't trying to take control of the guy. The guy was trying to leave. There was nobody talking about being in a trance
Or
like
was he
state.
already possessed and he was trying to come back to mess with other people in the prison?
Or was the devil there just to make
Disgusting.
a deal? "Hey, I'll get you out of this place if you do this for me.
If you go back to the prison and kill a bunch of people, I'll let you out.
I'll get you out
I'll
of here."
I'll get you out of here. Yeah, who knows? We don't know what he said. We don't know what they talked about. They could have been playing gin
Empty.
rummy. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have been Jim Runny, and the guy kept losing, and so Jeffrey wanted to get the hell out of here because he was a sore loser.
I don't know how much I owe the devil from all that gin rummy I
Disgusting.
lost, but damn. Um, okay, so where are you at? Are you at a 9 or
I was thinking I was gonna go 9 here on the danger level. That possession really worries me. That trance-like state really worries me. And
yeah,
to go along with everything else on top of that, I think I'm at a 9 here. I
yeah.
don't know where you're at. Where are you sitting?
No, I'm there with you with a 9, I think. And I think I'm gonna match you on the object too and go 6.
Make it an even number?
Yeah.
Hell.
Just because
Why
thanks.
are we
And
talking about the devil and hell comes across?
hell follows with me. But yeah, since we put the non-human to an 8,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm okay with putting objects to a 6. Okay, so that puts us at a 77 for Aradale Mental Hospital.
Wow. Wow. Again, that's so far, these have been some really good scores tonight. Again, I don't think these break the top 5, do they, Dave?
No.
Not one of them's broke the top 5.
No, we gotta be way in the 80s to break the top 5.
Way in the 80s.
Mhm.
Well, Dave, challenge accepted. Because we're getting ready to talk about Freemantle Prison.
Mhm.
Ooh. My mate in Orlando
Cemetery.
showed me scratches. What was that? Seriously, he sent me pictures. Well, the better question is, what did your mate say they were?
Disgusting.
That was yours again, Dave.
Yeah.
So here's the question, Dave. We're 2.5 hours in. Do we want to push through into Fremantle?
It's up to you, bro. I
I
might.
got I got a full beer of sake over here,
I got. I got almost a full Sing Tao, so I think I can do it.
and I don't have to pee. So, all right. All right. Here we go, Dave.
All right. So
Start.
next up,
Start.
Fremantle Prison.
Let's just start. Let's just start, Dave. Go ahead and start.
Said it happened while he was asleep. Does he have any cats?
Right?
Yeah. So Fremantle Prison.
This is another big location.
Yeah. When they say these are the most haunted locations in Australia, they're not kidding. They're
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah.
2.
Too, huh? So I guess 2 of them are gnarly.
2 of them are early. So Swan River Colony, also later named the
Stay.
Fremantle, was established in 1829 as a free settlement. By the 1840s, as the settlement flourished, there was a need for cheap laborers. As a result, the colony accepted some British convicts to come to Australia to work. So initially, this colony differed from the other penal settlements, such as Norfolk Island and Port Arthur. There was only one problem. The colony's roundhouse, which was built in 1831, was completely full. So when the first ship with British convicts arrived in Western Australia, all 75 of them were forced to stay on board the Scindian. The Scindian was a British ship and was considered to be the first convict ship to travel to this part of Australia. To house all British convict laborers, a new prison was actually built. In 1851, the start of the construction began. The first convict was welcomed in 1855. I love that word, welcomed. Back then, the prison was simply
Come on
known.
in.
Run now.
Come on in.
Run now.
I want you to go.
You want me
Oh,
to
that
go?
was interesting.
I live here. You go.
Mine said run now, and it said I want you to go.
The prison was just simply known as the convict establishment. It was renamed Fremantle Prison in 1867. The design for the Fremantle Prison was based on the English Pentonville Prison. Although the Australian building was much bigger, the main cell block alone could house up to more than 1,000 convicts. Damn, that's a lot.
Yep.
At first, the convicts at Fremantle were generally short sentence prisoners of good character, but soon less desirable convicts were sent. Eventually, in the 20th century, most convicts at this prison were violent offenders serving long sentences. So they were no longer a labor force, basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
As offenders grew more violent and more dangerous, the less freedom they got. In the beginning, the convicts were sent off working on infrastructures and construction jobs, such as like building the Fremantle Asylum, now known as the Fremantle Arts Center in 1867.
Mhm.
Because of their violent nature, the convicts were no longer allowed to work outside, and jobs needed to be found inside the prison complex. There were some workshops, but not enough to employ all convicts. Convicts weren't happy about this. There were several riots. 8 of these riots got pretty out of hand, especially
It's
the
dark.
Fremantle Prison riot of 1988. It's dark. That's different. Yours was saying it was bright.
I kept saying it's bright, and yours just said it's dark.
Prisoners have started a fire and taken 15 hostages. In the end, nobody got hurt, but the prison was severely damaged.
Run now.
Again, yours says that. The original roundhouse, which served as a prison and a courthouse, also served as a place for public executions. This remained the way until Freemantle Prison came under local control in 1886. Then the gallows were constructed. It was completed in 1888. Freemantle Prison was the only place in Western Australia where executions were allowed. Here, 43 men and one woman were hanged here between 1889 and 1964. The first person to be hanged at Freemantle Prison in 1889 was a murderer named Jimmy Long, and the last person was serial killer Eric Edgar Cook, also known as the Night Caller of the Needlands Monster. Oh, I think I remember that. I mean, I don't remember that. I wasn't born yet, but I remember reading about it or hearing about it in 1964. In Australia, capital punishment was abolished in 1984. Punishments given at the prison were flogging until 1943.
Revolting.
Confinement.
That's new.
Revolting.
I guess that's an upgrade from disgusting.
Solitary confinement and a restricted diet of bread and water. Oh, I love those gallows there.
Yeah.
Wow. When John Hampden was appointed governor of Western Australia in 1862, the convicts of Fremantle Prison faced a dark period. Governor Hampden was tyrannical and harsh, and this made him extremely unpopular with the colonists. If a prisoner attempted to escape, he demanded 100 lashes with a cat of nine tails. Oh, oh man. With up to 9 months in solitary confinement, starting with 30 days on a bread and water diet. That would suck. But that didn't stop the convicts. During the time Hampton was governor, more than 90 convicts tried to escape prison. Some succeeded, most of them did not, but there was one man who seemed to enjoy shaming Hampton.
Picture.
Moondine Joe, also known as Joseph Belitho Johns. He was actually a well-known Australian bushranger. In 1853, he was imprisoned at Fremantle Prison. In then it was actually considered the convict establishment for stealing a horse. He had 3 years to serve. He was set free, but was sent to prison again in 1865 for stealing and killing an ox. This time, though, Governor Hampden was in charge. Moondine Joe escaped while working outside that same year. He was captured and his imprisonment was extended by 1 year. 1 year later, he attempted to escape again. Once again, he was discovered and 5 more years were added. Governor Hampden was shamed by Joe's attempt, which were also picked up by the Perth and Fremantle newspapers. He ordered his son George to build a jail for Joe where it was made impossible to escape. They built this place in this prison specifically for Moondine Joe. But Moondine Joe could not be stopped, Dave.
No, he couldn't. He was not done.
So, due to poor health conditions, Joe was actually sent out to break stones in the courtyard. So basically, the labor, it was tough, but the fresh air and the exercise were actually good for him. So he wasn't just going to die in a fucking lonely ass cell. Joe was breaking stones every day of the week and ended up creating this huge pile. Soon he was able to hide from completely out of sight. And he was able to dig a hole in the prison wall with his pickaxe. He had broken out again. And this time he was a free man for 2 years until he was caught stealing wine in the cellar of Houghton's vineyard. Joe was lucky, though. Governor Hampden had been replaced in his absence, and the new governor was a more forgiving man. Joe was given a ticket of leave in 1871 and was released in 1873.
Torturer.
But his story continues continues later at the Freemantle Asylum.
Yep.
What an interesting little tale. I had to read that whole thing because it was just too interesting.
Yep. Moondine Joe.
Moondine Joe.
Yeah.
So
So
go ahead.
okay. So yeah, of course, a place like this is expected to be haunted, right? The sound of rattling keychains, disembodied footsteps, and voices, and visitors who take pictures with the gallows tend to appear headless when they look at it later. Cameras tend to fail. There are orbs and strange light anomalies, flying bin lids, and funny smells. Several guards claim to have seen the apparition of a man in black. One of them even fainted when he
2,
laid eyes on the figure, but no one knows who it is.
Wow.
Then there's the ghost of John Gavin. The story of John Gavin is a sad one. He was a 15-year-old farmhand who was accused of murdering the child of the family whose farm he worked at.
chains,
Let's say chains.
Yes.
Interesting. John insisted he was innocent, but was sent to the gallows in 1844 outside the roundhouse. He was a lightweight boy, so chains were attached around his legs to make sure he had enough weight to break his neck.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I'm going to drink to that. Here's to you, John.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I wonder if that was the Johnny that
That's Johnny.
Later, the mother of the murdered child was diagnosed with postnatal depression. She most likely killed her own baby and blamed it on John. John is believed to haunt the shipwreck galleries, making banging noises on the walls. Visitors also see things from the corners of their eyes, but when they look, there's nothing there. Oh, okay. The original timbers.
Sorry, bro.
What the hell?
I kicked myself out.
I go first now. No. Um, so the original timbers forming part of the original timbers of the museum are actually part of the hull belonging to the Dutch ship Batavia, which was wrecked in 1629 during its maiden voyage.
Wow.
2.
Two.
What do you want?
I guess there's two. Right.
Evidently
So
true.
okay, so let me ask you this. Could there be residual energy from that shipwreck because the wood from that ship is there?
Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
So
Did
then
you know the
there's
singer of AC/DC was actually served time there? Bon Scott?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but
That's okay.
that was interesting.
So we do know that of the 44 people that were hanged at Fremantle Prison, one was a woman. That was Martha Rendell, who was sentenced to death for killing the son of her new husband. She was also accused of killing his two daughters, but their deaths were
I'm
not
not sure.
directly linked to Martha. She was hanged in 1909, and staff and visitors claimed to see a face of a woman in the chapel windows of the prison.
Oh, wow.
Gone.
Yeah, she's gone. And I'm going to go like that.
Yeah, I was looking at that while you were talking. Is it like right off the edge there that looks like a face?
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like a face. I mean, lips, nose, eyes, forehead,
Yeah.
a great profile.
Yeah. Because I'm And are you looking on because the arrow is pointing to that window pane. Are you looking on the
Run now.
left or right side of that window pane?
The left, well, the right, I guess the window pane next to the arrow, not the
Yes.
window pane that the arrow is in.
Yes.
The right side of the window pane looks like a
Yeah.
face.
That looks like a face because I see like a swooping nose, like a ski jump.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
can
that's
Revolting.
where I see the face.
The
Yeah,
top lip,
revolting.
eye.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
I was looking throughout that window pane to see if I saw something else, and I wasn't seeing it. And then I saw that. I was all, oh, that must be what they're talking about. Is that face?
Yeah. So
Moron.
moron. That's new. Um so I had an account in 2009. In 2009, when I was around the age of 14, I attended the Torchlight Tour with my best friend and her mother.
I come and go.
Torchlight Tour runs for 1 hour and 30 minutes and is completely in
2.
the dark. All you have is a small torch or flashlight that the tour guides hand out to you. Before I started, he gave a little history of the building, but this tour was around the winter months and it took place at 6:30 p.m. It was already dark by then. He said he had a digital camera, just a basic digital camera. And 5 years ago, I can't remember every single area that was shown, but I have vivid memories of the places I do remember seeing and being in. So we're waiting. I want to get to the sighting that he said.
I found another picture of that window pane,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared it. I don't know if you want to pull it up.
Not.
That's interesting.
And it looks like on the left-hand side of that same pane almost looks like a face from a distance.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I was wondering because I saw on the left side, if you go back to my picture,
That's what I'm gonna do.
you see on the left side, it looks like a Joker face. I see red lips and an eye, but it's kind of a bigger head and
Revolting.
yeah, revolting.
I don't know. It's weird. Like the close up, you don't necessarily get that same image as you do from far away. So it's kind of weird, huh? I don't know. It's definitely different. As I don't know what to think about these two pictures. That's kind of why I shared it. It was just different. Hmm. Go ahead, Dave. I didn't mean to
That's
disrupt
okay.
you.
It gave me time to kind of read this because it was like, so he took some pictures with the digital camera, and he found a whole bunch of odd photos. The first photo was in the kitchen, of the big metal tubs. In between the two tubs, there were these perfectly round, different colored orbs, about 4 or 5. Some of them transparent and some of them full. They were all different sizes. The next photo was the tour guide in the courtyard. Above him looked like what I assumed to be the moon, but with zooming in and inspecting further, it was transparent, almost like a creamy color.
Oh,
The photo after
Careful.
that was a random spot in the courtyard, and it was the creepiest photo of them all. There stood a man in what looked like a white doctor's coat. You can barely see his facial features, but I could make out that he had glasses. He was completely transparent, and only his head, shoulders, and torso could be seen. He had no legs in the picture, but
Revolting.
you could see the long coat hanging freely. Next to him was a large transparent orb that had almost a green
Revolting.
aura to it.
Interesting.
The rest of the photos had a substantial amount of orbs. You got orbs all over the place, numerous sizes, colors, and transparency. Most of the orbs were in the church, floating around the cross.
That's
Blessed.
And then
Oh,
my
blessed.
plus. That's
Nice.
perfect timing.
So let's see. Strangest. Okay, so Martha Rendell's a ghost. Martha was hanged 1909. Curiously, since her death, many have spotted to see her face imprinted in the windows of the prison. It seems though her face has been symbolically etched onto the jail itself, as if she's gazing outwards but never able to leave.
Yeah.
One of the more active areas is said to be the room where the executions were carried out. Here, many people reported to capture strange anomalies
I use it?
and feel unnatural sensations. In the main cell block, poltergeist activity has occurred. People have sighted black shadow figures and even full-bodied apparitions. They've picked up on strange smells, even unexplainable beams of light, and heard voices when no one's around. Oh, it's a part of it is a youth hostel now.
Yeah.
So you can actually stay overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go.
Former cells. That'd be interesting to do.
Yeah, I love that. And then the Freemantle Roundhouse.
Run now.
Somebody doesn't like the Roundhouse.
No, it does not.
Idiot.
That's schizophrenia for you.
Okay. So let's see. So multiple women claim to have seen a man in tattered rags, sporting a big bushy beard and wild hair, in one particular cell. He is typically described as climbing up the walls. Others have claimed to hear ghostly voices, seen strange lights, and even full-bodied apparitions around the Freemantle Roundhouse. So yeah, and of course, John Gavin was the one. He was executed just outside the Roundhouse. Oh, and the person that George Pollard was the person he allegedly killed, was actually 3 years older than him.
Really?
Yeah, he was 18.
Oh wow. That's interesting. Tell me what you think. I'm just gonna show this picture to you, and I want you to tell me what you think about it.
Nothing wrong with a big bush.
2.
Got 2 again. Okay, I see something on the
Bathroom.
the first level, the second room on the right, second
Yeah.
from the right.
Yeah. Like
I can't make out what that is, but that's like there's a figure there.
like you I'm like, okay, maybe it's, light shine or something, but why only in that window?
Why that window only? You would, if there was some kind of light shine, you would see that in a few of the other windows on that side. Huh. It's interesting.
I thought so too. I was like, huh. I just I wanted to throw that out there. I was like, that's a little bit different.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of going through some of these photos.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that
Prison.
one.
Prison. Yeah.
Interesting. Yes, we are talking about a prison.
Yep.
Okay, that's an actual light though, right?
Yeah. I don't I don't think there's anything here. It looked creepy, so I grabbed the picture. It didn't say that there was a figure here or anything like that. So no need to really look for anything. I just think this picture is
Creepy.
ominous. Yeah, it's weird.
That's interesting. That has to be the wall. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and this is this prison, the walls are made of limestone. So this has gotta, limestone is a huge,
Conductor.
yeah, a huge conductor of paranormal energy. So um and I
Run now.
okay.
Again.
Again. So I I think there are I think there's more ghosts than just prisoners here. I think other ghosts are here too. Like maybe from the ship from 1629, I don't know, but I think
Awesome.
that's a distinct possibility. But I think the prison could be a portal.
Possibility. I can't.
Like.
I don't know. There's something interesting about this prison.
Yeah. Now there's something. Yeah, I don't know if I'm picking up what you're putting down because there's something about this prison, and
Revolting.
okay, might be a little revolting, but I'm
Whiskey.
I have whiskey, but we're not gonna do that right now.
Yeah, we're not doing that right now. Yeah,
We're not gonna do that right now.
I got enough beer in me. Holy cow. Uh,
Under.
hmm.
Hmm. So let's see. Some stories of unexplained temperature drops, doors going ajar, banging noises are known occurrences in the building to this day. There are also a woman apparition walking around that that visitors have reported seeing. Um, hmm. Oh, okay. That's the Freemantle Arts Center.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's an interesting picture. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so Martha Rendell, that's the prison. There we go. Her soul roams the stairways and walkways, and she sometimes shows her face in the church windows. Um,
Lady of the Night.
I did mention that earlier, didn't I?
You did mention that earlier,
Yeah.
dude.
So, people feel cold spots, trying
Yeah.
to find some different activity. These are the torchlight tour locations
Not sure.
that they do. That's interesting.
Hmm.
He won't leave.
He won't leave. That
Hmm.
is interesting.
Two. It's outside.
It's outside. You ever not want to ask the question what it is?
Right?
It's outside. What is it? I don't want to know what it is.
Yep.
Well, Dave, you want to score this?
Yeah, I think we can score it, bro.
All right. So the residual of the Freemantle Prison. Is it better than
What do
Aradale?
you want?
I want a
Run
non-biased
now.
Freemantle Prison. And yours says run.
Run now again.
I
Huh.
this is there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Like I think that legless thing with the orbs and stuff, I think that was
That's a lot of residual going on.
a lot of residual
And
going.
a lot of orbs, especially in the church around the cross. That's really neat.
I think
Um, the doctor, yeah, I think the
Moondine
doctor's
Joe,
residual.
the doctor's residual, Moondine Joe, I think is residual. Um,
I'm not sure how.
Moon, yeah, I'm not sure how. I'm
uh,
not sure how that's funny.
okay,
Um,
maybe he's not residual. The ghost of Martha Rendell. Again, she's got her face on the window, so I don't know if I can consider that residual.
yeah, I don't know if I can consider that residual either. Yeah, I think. Uh,
Sorry.
what do you think about the governor?
Um,
Do you think there's some stuff about Governor Hampton that's in here connected to Moondine Joe?
I think that's possibility. I think that's possibility.
And I think that could be residual. Because like the sound of rattling keychains, disembodied footsteps and voices. Um,
I can definitely be part of the governor.
I think that could be part of the governor, and I can think that could be residual, like guards and stuff with the keys jangling and stuff. That kind of makes sense to me.
The guy John that got accused for killing the baby. I think he's
A baby
residual.
that turned out to be older than him. Yeah, he was accused of killing their son, the owner's son, but it was an 18-year-old boy,
Run now.
which, they now think that the wife did it because she was going
Yeah,
through depression.
yeah, she most likely
Um,
killed her own baby and blamed it on John.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Martha Rendell is intelligent.
You
I
think
think there's some residual from the Dutch ship in 1629.
Yeah.
Because the timbers are in the museum. Do we think the ghost of John Gavin is residual? Or do you think that's intelligent?
And that's the kid that had to have the chains put on his legs to
Yeah,
be hung.
that was the kid that was hung. She was 15.
Another room.
Because there's another thing, they hear footsteps, they see an apparition outside the roundhouse, and that they believe is him. And I don't see a lot of interaction with that ghost, so I think that might be residual.
Yeah, I think that might be residual.
So to answer your question,
Did.
well, no, not yet, but I I think it's I think it might be better than Aradale, but not as good as Port Arthur.
So you're thinking maybe a 7
I'm-
or an 8?
Yeah.
I don't think it's much better
Who
than
is she?
Aradale,
No,
though.
I'm thinking 7 is where I'm at.
I'm picking up what you're putting down there.
Okay. So intelligent,
We got shadow figures.
we got shadow figures. Those
2.
have to count. I guess we
We
have
got
2 shadow figures.
again. You got
We
Martha Rendell.
got Martha,
Uh,
Moondine Joe. Do we think
Moonlight
that?
Joe. I think he's residual. I really do think Moondyne Joe's residual.
Okay.
He didn't
Portal.
he didn't die there. I can understand why he would have an impact there, being breaking out and being in there multiple times. Governor Hampton, I think, is residual. There's not a lot. I don't think there's really a big
I mean,
intelligent.
there's the shadow figures and Martha Rendell, I think, is all we got. So I think maybe 5 or 6. Because the shadow figures, there's multiple of those.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm kind of at a 5 or a 6, and I'm kind of leaning at a 5.
I think I have to go with you and I'm just looking. Just want to check something out real quick. Yeah, I think I'm at a 5 on the intelligent. Is that what you were saying too?
Yeah.
There is poltergeist
2.
activity, though.
Yeah.
There is equipment failures. There's
Doors opening.
doors opening, shutting. I think they said something about lights too.
Yeah.
There's
I think there was some kind of light anomaly.
definitely light anomalies.
Yeah.
Uh, not seeing a lot of other things moving.
There's the cameras being affected and stuff,
Yeah.
and cameras shutting off. Strange anomalies in photographs and
Hell.
Natural sensations. Full-bodied apparitions, strange smells. That's going to go with feels. Unexplainable beams of light. I'm not sure where that's going to go. Maybe object.
I'm coming.
It's definitely a manifestation.
Yes.
For some reason, when I think of stuff like that picture on in Port Arthur, and that stretched out beams of light that were there, it just reminds me of the movie Poltergeist.
Yeah.
But I don't. Is the Poltergeist activity better than Aradale? I don't think it is. Is the Poltergeist activity as good as Port Arthur? I don't think it is.
Hmm.
I think the Poltergeist activity at
I
Port
don't
Arthur.
know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I
2.
agree with that. Will you stop saying 2? I got No, I'm at a 6. I think I'm matching
You
Port
think
Arthur.
you're right there with Port Arthur?
Yeah.
I thought Port Arthur had more
No,
than
I don't think so. I don't think it had a lot because it said poltergeist activity, but there wasn't a whole lot that was reported. That was a thing. And this says it too, but it actually reports more with the doors and the lights and things like that. But Port
Yeah.
Arthur had um had something that was
It was the people being pushed.
yeah. I mean the prison has that too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm picking what you're putting down. I'll go 6. I wasn't thinking that. All right. So the non-human element. Well, there are shadow figures reported here.
Yes. No real possessions
No real
or
possessions or anything
things
like
like
that.
that. So, like what we had at Aradale before we upped it, I think I'm at a 6 here too.
I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah.
Leave here.
No, he lives there.
Yes, I live here.
Okay, so what do you think of the history?
The history of this place is, I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think the history of this place is actually better than the
Better
other.
than the other two. Yep, I agree with that.
I was thinking putting an 8 on the history on
Yep.
the Freemantle Prison.
I'm totally picking that up, bro. Okay, manifestations.
There's
I
a
think
lot of manifestations here.
yeah, there's tons of orbs and
Or
apparitions.
full-bodied apparitions, shadow figures. You
Half
got the
apparitions,
half
figures in the things.
Where
We
am
got
I?
smells.
you got the face in the window. You
Yeah,
got the
you got the
smells.
apparition of John Gavin. You got I think
2.
and we got to say the beams of light
Yeah, the beams of
also.
light.
So I think this is boy. I am. I think I'm gonna be right in between. I think it's better than Aradale, but not as good as Port Arthur. So I think I'm gonna go 9.
Better than Airedale. It's definitely not as good as Port Arthur.
No,
Better than Airedale.
I think it just
I have to agree with you. I think it is better than Airedale, and it's definitely not as good as Port Arthur.
no.
Um, I'm down with the 9 here. I'm down with the 9 here.
Okay. All right. What are you down with the audio?
Well, let's see. You got
Got keys jiggling.
keys jingling, boot steps.
What did they say?
Who are you?
That's John.
I'm John. There's not
Boat.
a lot of audio being reported, is there?
No, I had some stuff. Rattling key change, disembodied footsteps.
Revolting.
voices.
Oh yeah, there are voices being heard.
Oh shit! Poltergeist activity. We got the flying trash can lids.
Oh, flying trash can lids.
And I've
Run
got to go
now.
back to the intelligent. We've got the apparition of the man in black, which one of them fainted when he laid eyes on him.
Yeah.
So I gotta go back and rethink is the man in black, is that non-human or intelligent? Or a little bit of both?
I think I'd have to put points in both there.
Yeah. 1 point each, or do you think it's more intelligent than it is non-human?
Can you really say that? I mean, wouldn't the intelligent factor still be equivalent to the non-human factor? So if I gave 2 points to non-human, wouldn't it still be 2 points to intelligent?
No, if it's more demonic. I mean, it would still be intelligent, but if you consider like what we did with Port
Yeah.
Arthur, where we were like, okay, this figure will get a 1 point bonus to intelligent, but we believe it's residual, so it gets 2 points. So if we believe it's a human spirit that's intelligent, it's 2 points. But if we're not quite sure it's demonic or non-human, then non-human gets 1 point. So if we're sure it's a non-human entity, then non-human gets 2 points and intelligent
Love.
gets. At least that's how I'm seeing it.
2.
But I'm 5 beers in, so I don't know.
I'm gonna give a point to the intelligence, but I think I'm gonna give 2 points to non-human.
I'm down for that.
So it would take us to what, a 6 on the intelligent,
6 on the intelligent and 8 on non-human.
8 on the non-human. And I'm seeing more apparitions found in the tunnels where they used to pump fresh water from.
Yeah. So does that affect the manifestations or does that affect residual?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I think that would affect both.
Yeah. But I mean, do it up it? I mean, I can see upping residual to an 8 for sure.
I don't know if I can up the manifestations up to a 10.
Exactly.
But I can see residual going up to an 8.
Yep. I'm down for that. All right. What were we talking about? Audio. So
we're looking for more audio, Dave.
we're looking for more audio. Like I said, yeah, the audio's good. John is believed to haunt the shipwreck galleries, making banging noises on the walls. So that's another audio.
I was just reading that.
Visitors often see things from the corners of their eyes, but when they are looking, nothing's there. I don't know how I want to attribute that.
I think that would also go into. Oh, would that be going into intelligent, or would that go into?
Could that be non-human? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth changing the points.
I don't think it's worth changing the points. I don't think it's
I
enough.
think it's worth changing the points anywhere. Okay. Virgil, I know you're talking, brother, but yeah, we're trying to score this thing so we can get out of here. So I apologize for not responding to you. He wants to know what you're smoking. At least I think it's you because I'm not smoking anything.
Some Tricks flavored nicotine.
Yeah.
Revolting.
Yeah, I agree, but that's just me.
The audio's
the audio's still good, but I think I think I might be
I was thinking
in the
6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I might
yeah.
be in the 6 range. Okay, feels. There's physical contact.
There is physical contact.
That's a 5. Uh,
Um,
we gotta look at,
a guy
you know,
fainting.
guy fainting. Um, wow, I
Uh,
wonder if could that have been a possession? If
oh
we're thinking
god.
the Men in Black might have been non-human, it was definitely an attack, so we've gotta think about that for the danger, but,
You got
um,
funny smells.
yeah, there's some
Push.
smells.
There's being touched. There's man, a guy fainting. Is that possession? Let me look here.
Just laying eyes on the figure, he fainted. So, I think that should definitely be feels, but
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on the feels on that. I'm just wondering if I up the non-human factor like we did with Aradale. Do you think that could have been a possible possession? Uh,
do you think that makes Freemantle higher in non-human than the other 2 locations? Because that's what it would do. If we move it to a 9,
in the non-human factor?
the non-human factor, then it would be the strongest non-human of the
Run now.
yeah, of the places we've talked about today.
I think it would, for the simple fact is he saw him and fainted when he laid eyes on the figure. And I don't know if that was the man in black just saying, "No, you don't get to see me," or if he was like, I might be able to possess you." And during that point in time, the dude collapsed.
Yeah.
Either way,
Or he just put him down. He was just like,
either way, it's definitely a big part of the feels. I think
yeah,
that
yeah. It's definitely feels, or was it the
2.
guard felt so overcome with fear that he passed out?
which could be the point too. Do I give extra than a non-human element over that? Because I don't think the man in black is human.
No, I agree with that. I don't think he's human either. I think he might have been human at one point, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not anymore.
I don't think he's a shadow figure, but I don't think he's n I don't th I think he's a non-human element.
Yes.
I don't even think he might have been human at one time. I'm not even
Agreed.
sure if thank you, I'm glad you agree with that statement. At least somebody agreed.
Okay.
Revolting.
So our feels, both of the other locations were 10s. Does this match up?
Mm. No one's being bitten here, right?
No. A lot of pushing and stuff.
A lot of pushing
Pushing
and
and fainting and a lot of emotional stuff.
smells and
Smells and
no taste at this one.
no taste at this one. I'd be surprised if we ran into another taste one.
How do you feel?
I was so impressed with that. I was like, "Oh my god, we have a taste one. That's awesome."
The fact that no one knows who that man in black is worries me.
Yeah.
I I think I'm gonna leave the non-human aspect where it is.
And this is why I think there might be a portal here. I don't think this Men in Black is from the prison.
I'm struggling giving the feels a 10 though.
Me too. I'm at a 9
I
personally.
was thinking a 9.
Yeah.
I think I'm at a 9 on the feels,
Yeah.
and I don't think I wanna give an extra point to the non-human element.
I don't think so. Yeah, me neither.
Even though this guy worries me, I think the 8 is
2.
still justifiable for the non-human.
Yeah.
Objects,
I'm trying.
we got a little bit of objects going
We
on
got a little
here.
bit. You know what? I think this is one where I am higher than the poltergeist.
Recently.
Maybe
I
recently.
well, right now would be recently.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
recent. It's right now.
so we got a lot of equipment malfunction,
Yeah, we got a lot of weird camera stuff.
a lot of weird
Stuff
camera
being
stuff.
done with cameras. We got doors opening and closing.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
I'm trying to figure out why you think you would be more at a 7 than a 6. Why you're higher on the object level than you are the poltergeist level.
there I was getting to there. Okay, so visitors who take pictures with the gallows tend to appear headless. So I am counting that because pictures
Okay.
are being affected.
Alright.
Cameras tend to fail.
Run
Um,
now.
What about the timbers forming
the
part of the
timbers
wall?
from
Get
the ship
outside.
in 1629, the limestone walls of the prison,
'Kay.
the running water underneath in the tunnels.
Okay, the window that gets the impression of Martha Rendell.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through grabbing my the chains that had to weigh the boy down when he was hung.
Okay, alright, I like that one.
The
No
timbers from the
penises being
ship.
cut up.
Uh, see face window. That's
How
that.
about the fact that they built a specific jail for
They
Mundine
built for Mundine Joe. They
Mundine
created
Jail?
him a special cell just for him.
Yes, I do like that.
Hmm. Poltergeist activity occurred here. People have cited black shadowy figures, even full-bodied apparition, picked up on strange smells, unexplainable beams of light, and heard voices when no one was in the room.
I guess, I mean, if you
Oh yeah,
add that all together, I think that would probably put it above a 6.
yeah.
And I would go 7 on objects. That's a lot of objects in there.
There's a lot of objects going on.
Okay, danger.
Yeah, I think there's danger here.
I think the danger here,
I'm not sure. Food.
and I hate saying this because I don't necessarily think this is a 10, but it
Right.
feels like this place is the most dangerous location we've talked about tonight.
Yeah. I I agree,
But I can't justify giving
but
it a 10.
I can't justify. I mean, it made a person faint
That the man in black,
just
the
by
shadow
looking at him.
man in black bugs the hell out of me.
The man in black bugs the hell out of me.
Being touched on stuff, I mean, yeah, we're starting at a 5, but the man in black bugs the hell out of me. Um, the fact that this place might have a portal in it bugs the hell out of me. There's something about this place that makes me go, there's more to it than what people are what's on paper here.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just get a weird feeling about this place.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I can't justify giving it a 10.
Revolting.
Again with the revolting, Dave.
I know it hasn't. It does a lot.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
He
I
won't
honestly,
leave.
I'm at a 9. I think it's at a 9, but I think it's just I think it's as dangerous as Aradale, but I think it's got more dangers, but not as strong. So like it's
okay.
dangerous for a different reason. So it's not whereas Aradale's like, okay, choking, biting, that kind of stuff. That's like some serious shit, but there's not so there's like um there's 4 2s and a 1 making 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one's got and Fremantle's got 2 2s and 5 1s making up the 9.
yeah.
So that's kind of what my thinking is on it. That there are more dangers here, but not most of them aren't as dangerous as what Airedale's got.
Yeah. No, I'm okay. All right, so we'll go 9.
Yeah.
What's that score?
76.
Are you shitting me?
I wouldn't shit you. You're my favorite turd, bro.
What's that average out to? What 75?
70 77.5 or 70, yeah, 77.5 or 78.
Really? Including Scare
No,
Network?
not including Share Network, no.
Oh, I always include the Scare Network in there.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
total Australia. I'd say that.
I was just looking at the 3 that we did.
Oh yeah, that's 13 and 9. 22 divided by 3 is 7. So yeah, 77.5.
76 even for
Yeah, I was thinking 76.
yeah, 76 even for including Scare Network.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the one we did on Scare Network and I think that one should have been higher.
Possibility. Possibility. I think there's parts in there we could have scored higher.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. So there's something I didn't do when we were talking about these places.
Well, yeah, we didn't talk about any of these 3 places to ask the burning question. And the burning question is it an active location or is it haunted?
I like
Is
the
there
act,
paranormal activity
or is it
or is it
fucking?
haunted? Or is it fucking haunted?
And I'm gonna answer all 3 of these with the same answer. They're fucking haunted.
Fucking haunted.
there's there's no way to really say any other way about these 3 locations other than they're fucking haunted.
Yeah.
You don't have a paranormal experience with the danger
None
score
now.
9s. I just put it that way.
Yeah.
Non-human factors, all 3 of them rates. Manifestations averaged at a 9. Audio averaged at a what? 7. Feels averaged at almost a 10. It's
Yeah, I mean, counting the one on Scare Network, it was 9, 10, 8, 9
yeah.
for manifestations.
Yeah.
And for feels 10, 10, 10, 9.
Yeah.
So that averages out to a 9.75.
Yeah. The intelligence factor, I think the Freemantle, if it had a little bit more, I think the
If it
intelligence
had
factor
more apparitions.
yeah.
I mean, really, you had the the man in black, Martha, the woman that was executed, and the shadow figures, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, Dave, that's our show for tonight.
Yeah.
We will be back next Sunday, which is the 30th.
Mhm.
Uh, Again, same time. Well, hopefully earlier.
Two.
Hopefully earlier.
Uh,
Well, yeah, hopefully we'll be closer to on time.
yeah.
We're gonna it's gonna be cryptids part 7.
Yeah. See how that
See
trip
how that goes, where we're
uh,
because the
tournament.
following week, yeah. Yeah, see how that gets to we got our haunted locations tournament. How do you think these properties will do in the haunted location tournament?
I think they'll do pretty good.
I think all 4 of them
I think all
could
4
do
of these
well.
are gonna hold their own, I think.
Yeah.
I think these have potential of knocking out some 80s.
Yeah. This will be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to
Gonna
do.
be interesting.
Uh,
So, yeah, so we got the 30th for cryptids, and then on the 7th, we're gonna talk about haunted locations in Hawaii.
100 locations in Hawaii. That's gonna be interesting.
Um, so because that's our next haunted locations area, we got a couple of
Run
cryptids
now.
that we're gonna talk about on the 30th that come
Yes.
from Hawaii. So,
Good trip from Hawaii.
so yeah, stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be fun. I've never talked about haunted locations or even cryptids of Hawaii, so that's gonna be a fun night next Sunday. Uh, Shit, even the Sunday after that, talking about haunted locations of Hawaii. That's gonna be interesting research there. I think.
Yeah.
So but again, we'll be live on the Instagram at Spirits of Spirits, or you can also follow the 4K Lowdown on Wednesday. Again, we're pretty late on the pre games, but we'll
Yep.
be we'll be live doing that, talking about those haunted locations in Hawaii this coming Wednesday. Uh, but of course, want to thank Spotify for podcasters that will allows us to take the audio portion of this live broadcast and put it out to your favorite places like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course Amazon Music. The great thing about Spotify for podcasters is a great way to start your own podcasting site or adventure. They help you with growth, with allowing you to not just post to the Spotify, but all those other locations like I was talking about. And of course, as you grow your fan base, they'll help you
Two.
with sponsorship. So thank you for Spotify for podcasters for that. Again, I want to thank StreamYard. StreamYard is what allows us to be multicasting to our different pages here, like the Facebook Spiritual Spirits page, of course, the YouTube Spirits with John and Dave, or at Spiritual Spirits, and of course Twitter Spiritual Spurt. Uh,
Spurt.
Spurt. So thank you StreamYard for that, and of course thank you Scare Network Television for allowing us to be part of your family. If you guys have not already subscribed to Scare Network TV, please go ahead and check them out. It's only $4.99 a month. Uh, if you want to save yourself $20 a year, just do the annual and pay the $40. It's a $20 savings. You don't get that usually with a lot of annual subscriptions. So take advantage of that while you can. Lots of different stuff on there. Not only do you get CR exclusives on there, but
I'm
there's a
not sure how.
lot of different content to check out there with true crime, paranormal investigations, cryptid shorts, a bunch of different movies on there, including independent films, tons of stuff, and they got a lot of stuff in the books for new projects and things going on there. So check that out. Dave, any final thoughts for tonight's fiesta of Australia?
Australia's a good spot, bro. There was some good stuff here.
Dude, you don't
I'm
only have to be
solid,
worried about the snakes there. I'm just gonna say that.
solid all the way across the board. Nothing really lacking as far as types of paranormal activity and the lowdown scores. All of them pretty solid.
Yeah, a lot of variety in these spots. And again, this is a place that might warrant a second trip to Australia as we continue on with the third season there. Me and Dave might take a look at that. So keep an eye out. You never know what might happen.
Yeah.
I think this is the first place we've thought about doing a second part two
Part
of
two.
that should tell you something about Australia, folks. So again, I'm John, and that is Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I think it's make a tree and leave, bud.
I think it's time to make like horse shitting at the trail. So I will run the outro and we'll be out of here.
I'm not sure how.
I'll show you how it's going to happen right now. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tune in next week for another episode of Spirits of Spirits. Bye.
Great night.
Spirits of Spirits.